it's a little bit late. I had to go grab some stuff. I was running around for a quick second. Hello. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, you gave yourself a new color. That's exciting. Yeah. Go get the kiddos to bed. Let me let everyone in Discord know that, stream starting now. There we go. I was 5 minutes late. Oh my goodness. You know, that's basically the end of the world. But otherwise, yeah, let's see. I have our story queue up. I did a roll call earlier. Let's see. I did a roll call. Arya said they don't have anything in queue. What will be on? Someone will not be. And then someone's at the bottom of the list. So they might just chill. Okay. Let's see here. Hi, Deathhead. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. I was just catching up a little bit. I was seeing who I have on my story submission still. Hello. Welcome back home, Mom and Papa Cryptid.
Wait.
Hello. Hi, what? Hi, Deathhead. Hi, is it Veilwrath? Veilwrath. I'm not sure how to say it completely. I feel so bad that's like a normal word and I'm just silly and I don't know it. That would be me, though. That would absolutely be me. So what said they would be on? And what is? Let's see. Let me look at my story queue. Maximum Sharpie. Let's... no, not that. I know what I'm doing, guys. I know I'm a professional. I'm a professional. So, what's happening? Hi, Arya. It's good to see you. Oh, Veil is fine. Got it. The Forgotten Prince is halfway done story-wise? That's so exciting. What? That's huge progress. Oh, hey. Argyle. Angel. Oh, no. It's Lambda? Oh, you just changed your username? You just updated your username? You guys are all being tricksy on me. Just when I start getting used to people that you guys change your usernames on me, you guys are tricky raccoons. Hi, Bitzer. Bitzer, were you part of the queue? Let me pull up my thingamajig again and look. Let me look. For anyone who is wondering if you guys can see the list now, you can. It's in Discord underneath story submissions, and I do have the list now. Oh, Bitzer, you're on the list as well. I know you're lurking right now, but let me know if you want to stop lurking later. We could see if we can get you done tonight. You got distracted bullying kids in Roblox and nearly forgot about the stream. Oh no. This is Angelo. But you can still call me Lambda if you want. Yeah, my dyslexic ass will never remember that you're still Lambda. Hi, Papa Cryptid, what's up? Hello, welcome on in, Raiders. Oh my, is it Sir Chatty Matty raid? Did I read it right? Yes. Aaron, you made it with the other Raiders. That's great. Let me type in a welcome message. Welcome, Raiders. You're 6 in the queue? You are. Got it. Are you here? Do you have time? Because everyone before you, it's Maxim Sharpie, who I haven't heard from. Lord Sanctify, I don't think's been on yet. Eli Dew on the Grass said they wouldn't be on tonight, and then it's you. So do you want to go? We weren't left behind! Hello, welcome on in, everybody. You're on a 5-stream streak? Oh my goodness, thank you so much. You don't have anything in queue because of the crazy writer's block? It's all good, it happens. Yes, please, you'd like to go? We can do that. Let me go ahead and get it all set up. Let me get you situated. That was number 6. So yeah, for people asking for stuff, I mean, this person's 6 in line, right? But everyone else before them isn't here tonight, so I'm like, yeah, like let's go ahead and do that one. They were the earliest one from the queue who was here. That's roughly how it goes. Unless someone reaches out before and it's like, hey, can I clean this spot? I'm not gonna be here on this time, or I haven't been on in months. Can I do it? Like I'll make it. I try to work around with people. I try my best to be accommodating. It doesn't always work out, but I try my best. Oh my goodness. So let's see here. Here's this. You haven't been writing? I've been working on my Hatsune Miku cosplay. That's right, you even posted a picture of it in the Discord. It's looking super cool. 71 lap race? You're just a simple cryptid. There's only so much you could do. It's true. It's true. I feel very lucky that, you know, I have Roots helping me out with tech stuff and figuring things out with Discord and social media and other things. And Hide and Heart is part of the Coyote Guard for the mods. And is even helping me and knows more about Discord than I do, and it helps me out with stuff like that. So I definitely feel like I'm getting better. There's more things I've accomplished that's getting a little easier, but every time it gets a little bit easier, then I realize more things that could be better. So I always say I'll try my best, though. It doesn't mean it's very good, but I'll try my best, though, and then I'll see more things to get better at, and it's just gonna be constant growth. Yeah. So let me read your submission here. This says, this is a chapter of an original novella. Okay, so it's a little bit shorter for anyone who's unaware. Novella is a little bit shorter than a regular novel. It's like a baby novel. I'm hoping you'll be able to figure stuff out without out-of-text information. It's okay, and I'll still ask you stuff. I'll still ask you things like, oh, just clarify, what does this mean? Clarify, am I understanding this right? And you can let us know in chat and stuff too. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Your own server's still being put together, Sir Chatty Matty. See, yep. See, it's all just about getting better slowly but surely. So what is this? You won your season of F1? Oh, that's exciting, Aaron. That's cool. To use 71 laps is a lot? That sounds like a lot. I can't. Maybe if they were really small laps. Maybe if they were like itty bitty laps. Maybe then I could do it. Milan, you have helped build that server. That's really nice. Yep, but you'll benefit from seeing where you need to ask for help. That's true. That's even why some people ask why editors will write questions on the side in the margins as they're reading. Even if it's very simple stuff, like they'll be like, hey, this editor wrote on the side of a page, what is this character's motivation? And then later on it says what the character's motivation is, right? So they're like, why did the editor write that on the side when it's just explained later on in that page or the next page? And it's to keep track of different questions that readers would ask, right? If a reader would ask, why is this character doing this? Why does this character care about that? Is this a plot hole or world building? You know, what is this? They'll keep track of all the questions on the side as a reader, right, would come upon them. And then they'll note when that question's answered, whether or not that's in the same page, the same chapter, later on in the book series, or never. And it's important to keep track of those ones to make sure that you answered the ones you meant to and answered them in a timely way that you intended to answer them, right? So it's just good to keep track of stuff, that's all. Let's see. You stopped working on yours, Mila? Oh, it's large laps? Oh, I could never. Making a left turn. I think it's all left turns, right? You just keep going left? You just keep going left to do a lap? It's like a big circle. It's like a big ovally circle. You've returned. Welcome back, Hide and Heart. All the littles nice and tucked in and happy and good. I meant to ask you. I'm putting together a cool little gift package for Hide and Heart. And I know there's littles. I know it's plural, but I had to see because I know some of them are interested in the K-pop Demon Hunter merch. So I had to figure out how many derpy stuff I'm sending over. So I'll if I forget to ask you, just send me a message in Discord of how many to keep all. Because if there's like 3 littles and I only send 2, there's gonna be 1 little who's devastated. You know what I mean? So I had to have a head count for how many K-pop Demon Hunter derpy merch am I sending? There's only 2. Got it. Okay, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like if there was like 3 or 4 and I only sent 2, suddenly this very sweet package I sent over to be nice, like here's a gift, would be like, oh god, the house is in chaos now. You know, it's like you can't just send presents for like half the kids. That would be so mean. Anyway, I was sidetracked enough. Okay. And trying to figure that out. My house is burning from chaos over derpy. Cryptid, what did you do? Yeah, see, that's why I had to have a head count before I sent over the package. This looks. I'm assuming French, but I'm American, which also means I'm dumb with other languages. So that is not French. My apologies. Oh. Yes, you're a VIP. I figured out how to do that today. I made the list of the queue for you guys to look at in story submissions in Discord, and I figured out the VIP thing because I knew people were interested in that. I know I couldn't make the mod a VIP. People had told me that before because if you made a mod a VIP, it would get rid of their mod status. So I knew that. So thank you guys for letting me know that beforehand. I did remember that. And yeah, I tried it out. I was hoping it would work. It looked like it worked on my end, but you never know. You never know until it's go time. It's a date. It's in a system that's derived from Latin. Oh, see, I already told you. See, I know. Of course, I was wrong. Okay, so this is derived from Latin. So I'm guessing that means it's not exact Latin, but it's inspired by it. All good. So this is the date. The sanguine, is that how you say it? Hell, horse. Second story solar. Okay, so this is probably the date. This is the location because it's second story solar. I'm guessing the sanguine horse is probably the name of the building. Why did I call you Chatty? You're Maddie? It's fun how different places and different people will shorten a username and do nicknames differently. Um, you know what I mean? Like some people, the way they come up with nicknames and stuff like that and how they shorten it will be different for different people. You had your first stream back like a month ago and you got a donation? Lambda, that's super cool. That's exciting. It's exciting. Was it your very first donation ever? That's so exciting. It still kind of blows my mind a little bit. I'm like, ah. What do you mean there's subs? What do you mean there's bits? That's crazy. But huge congrats. That's exciting. Your name is so many different things in different chats. Yeah, see? Your name is just your name. Hopefully not your actual name. Don't use your actual name online unless you're like a public figure, unless it's for like advertising stuff. Oh, Heathen violates the TOS. Yeah, so then you were just hide and heart instead. Oh, yeah. That's so funny that just heathen. I wouldn't think that's such a bad word. So late afternoon sun warmed Leo's shoulders through the woolen cloth of his second best houppelande. I do know houppelande. Look at that. Knowing historical garments for Mom and Papa Cryptid helped out once. You did a stream yesterday. Hayden was the only viewer and she was lurking for the whole time. It was just for fun, so I didn't care. Yeah, the first few streams, you're just learning. You're just figuring out how to stream, how to talk to nobody. Talking to nobody is a skill in itself. And again, sometimes lurkers don't actually show up as a viewer. So I always like remind people, even if it shows 0 or 1 or 2, the number could be higher in reality. And those people just don't count for views, which I think is sad, right? But it's always good to be like, oh, I might not be talking to nobody. There might just be a lurker. Maybe I have a faithful lurker friend and I should be chatting and being engaging just for them, you know what I mean? So it is a skill to keep talking to quote-unquote nobody. Bubbles and imperfections in the window glass might distort a view of the street below, but they did nothing to attenuate the golden light. In another hour, the solar will be bustling with last-minute activity as the Sanguine Horse's pain artisans prepared for the night. But for now, it contained only him and his mother. Mealy told you should start streaming too, Aaron? It's just if it's something that interests you, then it's really fun. You're just playing Ultra Kill because you were frustrated with your writing block? Oh no! Yeah, writing block's always really hard. Come on, model. Oh, hi, Zoe. Yeah, did you see? Chatty Maddie noticed theirs. I wanted to see Zoe's reaction. Hi, Callie. It's good to see you. Shannon wrapped embroidery silk around her hand, golden yellow strands gleaming against its back and shining even against the paler skin of her palm. So the embroidery silk around her hand against its back. What's back? Oh, sorry. He's right. No. It's good. I didn't catch it right away. I was focusing on the writing and chat, and I didn't notice that Zoe was in. Yeah, Zoe, look next to your username. Next to your username. You have a little VIP badge. I was excited. I got it all set up before stream today. That way it would already be ready to go, so I could surprise you guys. I thought it would be cute. Cryptid does occasionally do the upgrades you ask for. You had Taco Bell for dinner? Is it because we were talking about tacos last stream? Oh.
Auntie Cryptid. Why does Chatty Matty keep calling pineapple pizza heathen slice pizza? It is the most delicious pizza ever. Like, the most deliciousest ever.
It's because some people, like even Auntie Cryptid, make fun of pineapples on pizza, and we say it's against nature. It's wrong. So it's called the heathen pizza. But it's okay because I love you, baby raccoon. It's okay that you like pineapple pizza. Even Roots likes pineapples on their pizza because they're crazy. So it's okay. But yeah, it is heathen pizza. Is this a safe place to say I like pineapple pizza? No. No, but seriously, it's all for fun, shits and giggles. But yeah, actually, the big divide here is that Roots, my sibling, and they like pineapple pizza. I'm very much a pineapple hater on pizza. So you're either Team Cryptid or Team Roots. So if you like a pineapple on pizza, you're Team Roots. You just woke up, Zoe, and it's a nice thing to wake up to. Oh, I'm so glad. I was so excited to get it done and figure it all out and have you guys be VIPs. I thought it was cute. Siblings are contractually obligated to love things you find disgusting. It's true. It's true. A terrifying presence has entered the room. Yeah, all the people who like pineapple. Oh my goodness, you guys are silly raccoons. Golden yellow stones gleaming against its back, and shining even against the paler skin of her palm. She tied off the skein with deft fingers and replaced it. Hold on, model, why are you glitching? And replaced it in the work basket on the table beside her chair. Shouldn't you wear something warmer since you'll be out after dark? Or are you going for this dance anyway? We'll be in the festival barn outside Northgate. Mercurio slipped its caretaker some coin to look the other way. Leo adjusted the lie of the crimson ribbon he'd woven into his mother's fine braids. But I promise I'll be fine. Yes, the temperature will fall once the sun's down, but you know how enclosed spaces can get. Once enough bodies start moving together, it's more likely to be too warm than cold. Bodies moving together. Right. Shannon's chest rose and fell with her sigh, stirring the folds of the deep red houppelande that cascaded down her chest. But no motion extended up to where Leah was dressing her hair. Hello, reload. Oh wait, was there a reload issue? You were panicking, thinking you missed stream. No, it's all good. I did. Oh, thank you, Arya. Thank you. Hold on. Let me do that. You're right. I was focusing on too many things, and I missed one. It happens. Let's see here. I do this. Properties. There we go. Thank you for the reminder. That was very nice. Yeah. No more dead raccoons pop up for the last little bit. Whatever you've been doing now, keep it up. So you gotta pay attention to what you do when the dead raccoons show up, and then what you do when they don't show up, and you gotta figure out what's what's causing this. So one thing I want to ask you for the writer here, is it Angvase? Ang? I'm gonna shorten it to Ang. If there's another way you'd like it to be shortened, let me know. But for Ang, for our lovely writer here, just to clarify, because I'm curious, because there's Latin here, some of the stuff here I'm almost wondering if it's a little French. Was this translated? Are you a native English speaker? Was this translated to English? I just wanted to double check. How she managed to sit through hours of styling without the squirming for which she'd so often chided her children, Leo still didn't know. No, I'm a native Anglophone. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Because I'm just looking at it, I'm like, huh, there's, better than a francophone. Oh no. Let's see. Was it a gift common to all parents to protect them from hypocrisy, or simply the fruit of long discipline? He knew Shannon had been in sex work since before he'd been conceived. His impending birth had been why she came to the Sanguine Horse. So perhaps she'd accepted its grooming requirements along with other aspects of the job. Be sure to take your sheath with you. Even if you don't have milk or lemons with you, a little warm water will make the linen less porous and more comfortable for your partner as well. Sadly, don't have a native speaker's fluency in Latin. Different focus? Yeah, you had to kick a character out. Oh, that's always really hard, Chatty Matty. I get you. You actually go up to bat for the French more often than I give them crap. I think it's so funny. Normally when Chatty Matty calls out the French in chat, it always gets censored by the auto mod. Yes, Mother, it's already in my pouch. Ever since Leo's 16th birthday, when the law first allowed him to engage in sexual recreations, his mother had made sure he had the knowledge and materials he'd need to stay safe. 4 years later, her prompting was less a practical necessity and more a reminder of her care. He accepted it in the spirit intended, threading the ribbon's trailing tail through the eye of an Aiken? I don't know how to say that, and using that blunt needle to stitch the final braid to the rest of her hair. But okay, it's a hair braiding needle, I think. Meep meep. So the French chat that purrs and bites fingers? What? Yes, it's a historical term. Okay. After almost 4 hours of detangling, combing, and braiding, the ribbon stitches secured it all in an elegant structure. 4 hours? That's interesting. The whole edifice looked like pure vanity, but it would keep the hair neat and out of her face whether she was serving tables or wielding a whip. I'll take my rabbit-lined cloak too and wear it until I'm back indoors. 30 stream streak, how... It's still actually crazy seeing the bigger numbers for a stream streak. I'm like, what do you mean I've been streaming for that long? No parle français. Yeah, no speak French. It's that it's the forbidden language. Yes, that's wise. She accepted a hand mirror and frowned at her reflection. Not that she had reason to frown. An adult life spent working indoors, and an elven household member who enjoyed compounding creams and salves allowed the years to lie lightly on her face. She met his gaze through the reflection, brown skin crinkling where it bracketed chatoyant. I'm not sure if I said that one right, my bad. Blue eyes. The cloak will offer some protection from hay, too, if you end up wearing less than you are now. Pass the gel, please. Oh my goodness, all the French happening in my chat. What is this? What is this? Y'all are gonna get banned. Too much French. When I hear French, I picture a small guy who invaded Russia and lost. I mean, hey, that's the classic mistake, right? Always trying to invade Russia, especially during winter. I don't think it's just the French. I think other countries have made that classic blunder too. Oui, oui, baguette. Leo laughed and handed her the small pot filled with a gently floral-scented concoction. You have interesting assumptions about what happens at a dance. I'm not too old to remember that not all dances are performed vertically. When was the last time Mercurio invited you anywhere without having already promised your attentions to someone? Mercurio? I always want to read it as like Mercutio, more like more like the Shakespeare character, but it's Mercurio. Leo had to admit she had a point. He is rather generous with my time, but I can always say no. Oh my goodness. All this French. You can, but you won't. Shannon carefully daubed the gel. It was made with a mixture of soaked flax seeds, honey, lavender oil, and something Leo's friends at Balneum Spercorum referred to as bathing salts, but his friends from the university insisted were sulfus magnesi, and unrelated to the salt of the sea at all. Over hair still only lightly threaded with gray. She smoothed final wisps into place and shook her head to test the arrangement. Between the stitching providing structural support and the lavender-scented gel, not a hair strayed from its assigned position. You're a good boy, Leo, and I don't begrudge your pleasures. But you're always dancing attendance on this person or that. She touched her hair again. I do appreciate everything you do for me, but sometimes you have to put your own needs first. It doesn't always have to be about the other person. I know, Mother. He returned the acus to its case with the combs and bodkins that can enforce apart or pin up a mass of hair. When his mother passed back the pot of gel, he added that to the case and tied the leather flap closed. Would you like me to check on Dejina and Paul before I head out? What page is this? Okay, that's the first 4 pages. We're gonna be invaded. This keeps up. Oh no. Return stranger trying to make bread that can handle a duel when steel is in rare form. I'm not even understanding what is all these references. Oh my goodness. But for the current thing of looking at this entry, one of the things I'm almost getting a vibe from. And the reason why I wanted to ask about the translation earlier, because sometimes I've seen this with people who translate it over to English for me to read if it's not their, if they didn't originally write it in English, is sometimes the translate chooses higher vocab, not necessarily high vocab. Sometimes it just doesn't sound like a natural flow to the writing. Sometimes it will either choose like the wrong word or a higher vocabulary word that's not needed. Formal vocab, that's a good way of saying it. That's your normal register. That's my normal register. And that's fine if this is the way every day you're speaking. I almost felt like you're, from a reader perspective, you just want to show how many things you know. And hold on one second, hold on. Sorry about that. I almost went more, there was a more heavy focus on showing how many things there was, how many things you knew, how many historical things you, and I'm saying this as someone who is a historical costumer. I know historical hairstyles, I know historical garments, I know a lot of, I've made so many historically accurate pieces to the best of our, there'll be nitpicky people who say, again, we can never truly recreate historical accuracy 100% because we are not in the living conditions of historical society, but you get me, you get the point. You sometimes write like you swallowed a dictionary encyclopedia, Bitzer. Yeah, see, it happens to all of us. Sometimes I was like, this doesn't feel like it's the best words or format to telling the story. It just sounded like the best words or format for showing how much you knew. Because if we look at it logically, we're how many pages in, and there's actually been more of a reference of details of stuff rather than the actual story. What has happened in 4 to 5 pages is a very short conversation while Leo has done up his mother's hair. Saying he's going to go to the dance, and she's doing references of like, oh yeah, sure, you're just dancing. And then making sure he has enough clothes, he has protection, he has all this different stuff, because he's probably not just going to be dancing. But that's actually like the smaller detail compared to how many other things and details we are getting from this. That's what I'm saying, like, well, I wonder if there was translated funny. I was just double checking here. So I would say this isn't a bad scene so far, but it's very little of that scene. I would focus more on that scene of Leo speaking naturally to his mother, and the mother making like, no, you're not getting this past me. I know what these dances are about. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. Some really like a more formal one, but even though it's a little bit dry, some will not. It's true. Arya, you're still struggling with the writer's block, Arya? You got about a paragraph in before you hit a brain fart, and then stared blankly at the dog for 5 minutes and giving up. Hey, that's what I always say. Sometimes just a shitty rep chat. Just keep physically writing. You can just keep physically writing. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. Oh my god, what does this character do next? Is this scene stupid? And you just physically keep writing out your thoughts until you have the next thought of the story. And that helps a lot, at least for me. I know a lot of other writers, that was advice I thought was silly for a long time until I did it, and then I'm like, oh, it actually does work, god damn it. But yeah, I was noticing that. I'm like, there's so much here without progressing the story too far. Let's see. Did I miss anything? I'm calling the records. Throw the monkeys into that padded cell. Surely one will push a typewriter button. Yep, my brain is just a whole bunch of monkeys. It's my monkeys, it's my circus, it's my zoo, and I just unleash them to a blank document until they figure it out. You write the prose based on what the character's personality is, or try to. Barry's nerdy, so I try to make the prose nerdy at times, or a little awkward. You're saying write it badly, but write it. Yep, I always say, right. You can fix it once you write it. You can't fix it until you write it. So that's always the thing. So Leo has asked his mother if he should check on Dejina and Powell. You're not disproving my point. Shannon glanced at the large bubble glass windows that lined the walls of the solar. The blue sky was only beginning to blush with evening's kiss. I have time to do it before we open. Besides, if you let your sibs drag you into helping with their homework, you know you'll never get out before the gates close for the night. Sibs, that's interesting. Oh, thank you for the lurk. Bullet point means whatever. Get that first draft existing. Yeah, I actually make fun of my characters until I figure out what they're going to do next. So, like, if I'm stuck midway through a scene and then I don't know what that character is going to do next, I just keep typing, but I'm just making fun of the character. I'll be like, meh, 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 meh. Why don't I know what to do with you in this scene? Why aren't you doing enough? Oh my god, I'm stuck with you. I'm going to make you bald. I'm going to do this. I should make you an ugly character. I should just kill you off next chapter if I can't figure out what to do with you. Meh, 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 meh. I'll just keep insulting them until I figure it out. It just keeps you writing. I'm gonna make you bald as kind of. I'm the writer. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, that was one of my favorite insults I gave to the necromancer dad in the story where he has to resurrect his daughter, and then because he didn't realize he had a daughter, so he finds out he has a daughter, but she's dead, and he's a necromancer, so he brings her back. And it's that weird forming a relationship with somebody that he's never known before, and she's an adult. So every time I was struggling writing his scenes, I was like, I'm gonna make you bald. I'm gonna kill you off next chapter. Maybe I'm gonna make you the lamest necromancer in the world. Everyone's gonna be better than you at this magic. I'm gonna. You're gonna make me what? I was I'm like, I was like, what else did I tell Necromancer? I was threatening. Oh my god! So he had obviously, since he has a daughter, he had been with somebody. He had and the witch mom had been super super cool. I loved her, even though she's dead at the start of the story. So I will start insulting him. I'll be like, why did I ever make you catch the cool witch mom? She's too good for you. Like what? Blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, I'm just gonna make it so that way you're just the adopted dad. You're never the dad. You could never be with the witch mom. She's too good for you. I just start insulting him all the time. It's so funny. All your scalp hair will be beard by the time you're 40. Poor necromancer dad. Hey, listen. If he knew what was good for him, he would act out the scenes better. He would give me more to work with. But this is an interesting word here. Sorry, focusing back on the story instead of me being sidetracked with my ADHD all the time. So I was interested because again, it's normally higher formal vocab for most of it, and then this is dialogue, and suddenly Shannon goes sibs instead of siblings. I'm like, that almost feels a little out of place now. Time to make a sandwich? Yeah. Go eat food instead of listening to Cryptid just say random bullshit all the time. Don't listen to me. You'll know you never get out before the gates close for the night. Leo ducked his head. She worried so much, and maybe he did let his younger siblings manipulate him a little. Was it really so unreasonable to want the people he loved to be happy and well? And for the twins especially, he had some responsibility as their older brother. I can't just walk away when they ask me for help. Make sure you don't eat hairs by accident. That's how it starts? That's how what starts? That's how balding starts? Oh my god, I didn't know. You very well can. Magister Sudir? I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, my apologies. Wouldn't have assigned the work if it weren't within their capabilities. Shannon stood and shook out her skirts. Besides, if you miss the last scheduled Leforium cart, you have to walk half the width of the city to reach Northgate and the same again to reach the barn. So go, have fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Leo leaned backwards, luxuriating in the almost painful stretch of muscles too long neglected, and walked across the room to return the hair tools to their proper place. The solar was a space common to all the pain artisans of the Sanguine Horse, and to their families keeping things in their place was a shared responsibility, rather than one he might leave to another. I want to run on sentences too. Tell them I'll try to make time to help in the morning. I should be able to do that and still get some sleep before tomorrow night's service. Here's in the food. Next thing you know, bald. It is Zatara. Oh, Zatara came out. Hi, Zatara. Doing good. We started with I didn't procrastinate too long this time. I swear. See, I showed up and then we instantly kind of started on a critique. I'm doing good. Me preemptively having the things in their place as scene setup rather than afterthought. I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying, but hold on, let me take a sip. But I did notice it was a little bit run on. So we are starting page 6 now. So I think I'll stop here. But just as I know you said this was an excerpt from the novella. So again, we're seeing things out of context a little bit. This isn't truly the start of the piece. Hair tools in their proper place as scene setup. You've been low on sleep and high on output. There are now choir pigs in my French story. You're having fun over there, Zatara. The sleep deprivation will give you a lot of ideas. And then well-rested you will have to decide if those ideas are good or not. There was a French theme developing tonight. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure I'm ready for all this French stuff. So, for the writer here, I know this is an excerpt from the novella. Can you tell us how far into the story is it? Would we have already known Leah? Would we already get a sense of the setting? Because I thought at first, I'm like, oh, maybe this is medieval inspired, right? Especially with the houppelande, with some of the braiding techniques, all the different stuff. I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be medieval, not necessarily medieval, but, you know, historical based. Oh, it is the opening. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, in the description it said this is a chapter of an original novella. So, okay. I thought this was a random chapter taking from the novella, but okay, this is the first novella. Okay, sorry, my apologies. I misunderstood. That's why I try to only ever write when I feel like I'm in a perfect state for it. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Just, it's better to have a routine than to wait for the perfect inspiration. One time I tried writing while super angry and nearly made a change to Melinda's character that would have ruined the entire story. And that's fine, because if you do something, then you're just like, oh, okay, that wasn't the right thing. And then you just... You just keep writing as if that thing didn't happen. You can change things. It's still in a draft. You don't write everything perfectly the first time. It's better to have the routine to write an all state. Because again, sometimes it might have ruined it in that one instance, but then there might be feeling a strong emotion another time, write stuff down, realize actually, me writing out my feelings at the time, that created a development to the story that actually was a good thing, that actually was a great thing. So normally a routine and consistency is better than waiting for like the perfect inspiration or state of mind. That the perfect stuff, it's inconsistent. It will come and go. It's not gonna be there when you need it. And if you want to finish a story and get a story out and have a lot of work done and get a piece done that because you're so inspired by it and you want it to be done and published or written out. Why do you ignore my challenge? What happened? Oh, you had a little baguette and sword fight emoji earlier. That's cute. But yeah, consistency is normally, it's gonna get you a little bit further. And I say that as someone who tried so hard to fight against that for so many years, and then I started writing consistently, and I'm like, oh yeah, this actually is better. You tried mood writing, and then someone said to try brute forcing it through music. I actually don't like writing to any music. I know a lot of people like writing to music. I actually don't. I'd rather write with you know, just quiet stuff in the background with whatever. I just like being in my thoughts. But let's see, now I'm gonna focus now. So this is the first chapter. I will say, for the first chapter, for a couple pages in, I got the idea, okay, this is probably historical at some point in history. I'm not gonna, put my foot in my mouth and take a guess on the exact time period, but it is historical, um, inspired, because we have the houppelans, we have the bokkins, we have the hairstyles, we have all this different stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is historical. I can't fully confidently say that though. There were other times when I'm like, wait, is this like modern day with historical? Is this an alternate universe that's like modern day and just has the historical stuff? Is this sci-fi with historical stuff? I actually have a lot of trouble picturing what vibe, what timeline we're in. What's the vibe here? Um because I know you even said it was the 1472, but I even thought, oh well, if this is a fantasy story, if this is another universe, what does that even mean? You just kind of like glance over it. But if is this our world in 1472? Is this truly historical? Is this our world in the late 1400s with all the garments and stuff? Oh my goodness, we got some more French haters in here. This is crazy. Let's see. It's notably short on L's in 1482. So okay, so it is fantasy then, or at least alternate reality. That's the thing. Is it pure fantasy? Is it sci-fi with historical inspirations? Um, is it our world but with fantasy elements? You did not start the Franco War. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the vibe we're here for? I know we're working the mom's working as a sex worker. She's has the multiple children. We have Leo, who I believe is our main character, going out for a dance. What's the kind of what is the story? But maybe I should have started with that. Maybe I didn't ask enough questions in the beginning. Maybe I was so eager to start. I jumped in without asking my normal stuff. What is the what's your story about? What is this about? Maddie didn't start the fire. Oh no. Every text marker you've seen, from windows through hair tools, through clothing and burial methods, is documentable to the Renaissance or earlier. Yep, I didn't doubt you on that. I wasn't doubting you that you made those stuff up. I recognized a lot of them. Again, I am in a historical reenactment family. I recognized a lot of them. But then we also have elves. We also have Latin-inspired stuff. That's why I'm like... And I was even saying it almost felt out of place. I was like, oh, it almost feels little awkwardly stated here. I spent on that sheet. It's just one line. I'm confused. Okay, bog standard, medievaloid, fantasy. Okay, so this is fantasy with that medieval period. Got it. Okay. Now that I got it. So what is your story about it? I'm guessing the main character is Leo. I don't know if there's going to be other main characters later, but we're looking at Leo. So what happens here? It's a fantasy story, medieval inspired. And now it looks like the moon. You're silly, Callie. So is this going to be a coming of age story? Is there going to be elves invading and fighting everything? Is Leo going to get magic powers? What is the general premise of this story? Like, but yes, that way I can maybe see a bit more like, okay, what is the vibe we were going for? Kwanzaa? Croissant. I was like, what are we typing funny over there? Croissant. Croissant. You guys are silly. But yeah, if we are going for the more historically accurate, then there's some words like sibs and stuff that I'm like, I don't know. You are for real. Okay, so it is just a slice of life story. He goes to a dance and he deals with social and legal challenges. So it's this slice of life in the life of this medieval fantasy setting. And he's gonna go to the dance. Stuff is gonna happen there, and he's gonna deal with the consequences. That's as far as the fantasy goes, right? That's kind of the vibe. I asked because I could go over here and we could end up at the dance, and then a dragon appears and burns it down, and now he has to go on a quest to slay a dragon, right? I as a reader and many other readers do not know what's happening next. That's why I was asking, like, okay, what's kind of the vibe here? Normal people would see a little excerpt on the back saying, like, oh yeah, this is what you're gonna get into. Leo goes to a dance and then a dragon attacks and now he must go on an epic quest, right? They would get a vibe for it. I haven't gotten a vibe yet. Spider-Man's a superhero who deals with social and sometimes legal challenges. Yeah. God damn it. J. Jonah Jameson. That would make grounding the first chapter in interpersonal relationships rather a waste of space. That's why it's important for me to know if this is about. I think it's because it's the writing. So I'm speaking stuff, and I think I'm taking things out of context. I'm making up a tone for you that might not be real, and I apologize for that. I in my head am making up a tone of you being like, Cryptid, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, are you stupid? That might not at all be the tone you're going for. So that could be in my head, and I'm sorry for making that up. I need to know to give you advice, to give you critique. If this is, oh yeah, like we Leo's gonna go on social adventures and feel awkward and in this coming of age and go to this dance, that's where it at. In which case, yeah, this is a great start for. This is a fine talk with his mom before he goes to the dance. If you were then to tell me, oh no, like the dragon comes by and burns everything down, I'd be like, hey, wait, maybe this is not the right start for it. Maybe this isn't the right beginning. Maybe you need to get started a little closer to the dance before the dragon attacks, because the dragon attack is the big thing. So you're saying you're looking at me like a little bit like, oh hey, why isn't Cryptid picking up on this? Because I'm coming into this blind. I know you wrote a chapter and this is a novella. I got nothing else in my brain about what this is about. Leo, a young man raised at the Sanguine Horse Diversion House, is manipulated into an intimate party game with a newly promoted journeyman printer who's reluctant to engage. Protecting her without betraying himself, he learns that understanding consent and making others respect it are two very different things. You started your Inuyasha fanfic? That's very exciting, Ink and Play. I'm really excited for you. So, okay, so knowing that, it's gonna be mostly focused then on Leo and this other party and the people at the dance then. So even now, hearing that, I'm like, do we really need the starting place to be before the dance? If this is a novella, and sometimes with a novella we have very limited page-wise how much we can pull off, how much we can do. Should we maybe start as an idea? This isn't a critique, this is just throwing out an idea. Would it be a better idea to start at the dance, or maybe even Leo entering the dance? Is the idea of Leo being a overworked older brother to two siblings necessary for that relationship? Does that get brought up? And if it is necessary, could it be brought up when it applies? Do we need all the details of the sex workhouse? Step 1, the ordinary world. The ordinary world's been happening for 5 pages. I'll tell you right there, except that then there's also a mention of elves. We've been going on a bit, and I see a lot of your knowledge of historical society for 5 pages. And very little of like, oh yeah, Leo's talking with his mom, he's going to a dance. There's a lot of the ordinary world here. I'll let you know that right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, for what we're intending, could we start a little closer? With maybe outside the dance, getting ready to go to the dance, stuff like that. I know the steps of a good story. Don't you worry. I've been writing for so long. It's not an unfamiliar step with me. But I'm over here and I'm like, okay, when do we kind of get the vibe of like, okay, now something's gonna happen. Because right now I'm just like, okay, Leah's gonna have a cool night at a party and maybe or maybe not have some sexy times. That's kind of what I was like double checking here. So let me see here. Let's maybe I can keep reading a little bit more. Like even the Magister Soother and the twins going to school and doing their homework. I'm like, huh, like this is a lot of world building in the first few pages. I almost feel like it's leaning on the homework side a little bit. That's why I was like a little like, what's gonna happen here? How much does it apply? Let's see, they're 15 years old, Leo. Okay, yeah, these siblings are older. They're old enough to be responsible for themselves, and you're young enough to forget the time and stay out past dawn, should whomever Mercurial wants you to bed this time be attractive. Mother! Leo's cheeks heated. It wasn't that he thought she might disapprove of anything he chose to do. As long as he knew how to keep himself and his partner safe, she was vocal in trusting his judgment. But there was a difference between her reminding him about precautions and speculating about what he might be doing with an attractive friend. It's a story about character, which means I need to establish his character. What sort of man is he? And I'm not disagreeing that stories can be character driven, but normally I'm thinking we're getting a little lost in keeping the story going. Like even here, just as a micro version of it, right? As a micro little example of it. We're getting a lot of his thoughts here explaining relationships, right? Rather than the conversation of like, oh, mother, Leo's cheeks heated. Her speculating about what he might be doing with an attractive friend embarrassed him. 20 years old, I should hope by now I have enough sense not to abandon prior commitments for a few extra moments' pleasure. You know, like, we get a lot of character just through his conversation, through what he's doing. But then we also have half of this paragraph is just in his thoughts explaining to the readers, oh yeah, he didn't think she would disapprove of anything he chose to do. As long as he knew how to keep himself and his partner safe, she was vocal in trusting his judgment. But there was a difference between her reminding him about precautions and speculating about what he might be doing with an attractive friend. Character can be noted with actions and keeping the story moving, rather than half of all the words here being explaining the character to us. Kind of a show don't tell thing is what I'm picking up. Yeah. And when we focus on just showing instead of telling, that will also fix the pacing issue. While I'm saying like, oh, it's over 5-6 pages, very little has happened. It's still just the quick conversation with his mother before he heads out. If we were to focus more on the actions, him helping her do her hair, him having the conversation with her, and explaining what's going to happen with the needed details and the needed backstory. This would easily be shortened down to half of the length, and then that would fix the thing. I'm like, oh, it's 5-6 pages, nothing much has happened. If the same stuff was condensed to 2 or 3 pages, and he's had this conversation with his mother, she's chiding him, being like, oh yeah, like I know what you guys are gonna get up to. I know, I still remember this stuff. He's like, oh, he's embarrassed, he's blushing. Yeah, characters never actually think. Okay, I feel... Is it me? Is it me noting the sass? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm making up a narrative in my head. Hi, Raymond. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. But I do feel like it is that show versus tell. We want to understand character through what they're doing, through their conversations, through their actions, through how they're doing those actions, rather than it being explained in half of the text. what their thoughts are, what the backstory is, and explaining things to us. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, the pacing's off. I was even looking at like why is it so many pages and we're still on the same scene. Um, and this isn't me being like, oh, like TikTok brain rot. I need constant action. No, I'm totally okay as a reader. I like slower stuff. I like things, but I don't think this is the right scene for it. I don't think it's quite working out here. I feel like there's more of an emphasis on explaining all the things you as the writer know, all the background stuff of why a character does this, their background with their family, with the background of the historical stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, like let us be immersed with Leo. Let's see life through his eyes. Let's be in his head and let's go. Um, like those novels where it's 5 pages of describing this one cup, and sometimes we can do that. I was a I'm still a huge fan of Hannibal, the TV series, and that, oh man, that Hannibal in there goes really, really crazy. He drags Will along with him, right, with describing stuff. A teacup that in that scene is literally hugely important in Hannibal, because he has this entire thing of he tests reality. He keeps breaking cups and wanting them to form back together as a reference to his dead sister, and wanting reality to undo itself and rewind time. It's this whole entire thing, right? And once you're there, once you're following along with the characters, once you're immersed in it, you can follow along with characters that do that. But I'm like looking at the starting scene, and I don't think it's the place to do that. Normally, we want to be immersed with Leo and what's happening, and then once we connect with Leo later on, then we can go into more of the descriptions and the details and the background lore and the explanations. But we got to connect with Leo first. We got to be with him first. Tolkien burned through 4 pages describing a leaf. Yeah. And now, if it was like nowadays publishing and Tolkien tried to do that, I don't think it would be published today. uh, Question: if audience is for kids, as main character is a teenager for the dance, will they motivate to read for the vocabulary and can parse what is accurate history from what is narrative language? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to understand it. I don't believe the audience is for children just because the main character is a teenager. This is an older teenager from the sounds of it. An older teenager, young adult. I think it said Leo's age. I know it said his sibling's age just recently. My mind's blanking on his age, but I feel like it said it. But this is a young adult, especially in historical terms. And I feel like this would be for older teens, young adults, especially because the theme of this is, hey, he has this mother who does sex work, and he's going to a party and they're making jokes about how he might have sex there, right? This isn't for like kids, if that's what you're asking. This is already dealing in the first few pages with talks of sex and sexuality. The narrators, or the writers, already said, hey, the theme of this is going to be talking about consent at some party games that's going to be happening here. This is for a little bit more mature, so you're asking if the audience is kids. I don't think so, just because it has a party. Um, yeah, please do not hand this book to children. um, Now you're asking, okay, so for an audience, will they motivate to read for the vocabulary? Yeah, you definitely, if there's occasional words and stuff that you're like, oh, that's a new word, yeah, you learn new stuff. Even me, historical, like, that's why I know stuff like the houppelande type garments. That's why I know the bodkin. That's why, it's because I slowly over time got more and more interest in historical sewing and techniques and hair and being a historical seamstress, right? And you don't learn all that all at once. You get interested by one thing and you learn something, and you get and learn something else, and that leads you down another rabbit hole. So having higher vocabulary in general isn't instantly like a no-no. But being consistent and knowing what vocabulary to use to tell your story, that's what you're saying. This is a very formal one for what seems to be a story that's not teaching us anything like a textbook. That seems to be a story of teaching us more. So we're going to be following Leo's story. He's going to learn something. He's going to learn something about consent and other things, but we're following a character. This is a story. That's what I'm saying. It seems a very formal vocabulary for a story. Aspirational reading isn't a primary driver in kidlit, I don't think. I think it depends. If you're like talking like babies, like yeah, they're just learning language in general. They're just learning to communicate at all. But I mean, how many like Phineas and Ferb is a TV show aimed primarily towards a younger audience, and how many kids now know what aglet means? Because they're just like, yeah, we're gonna make an episode where Phineas and Ferb learn what an aglet is and how to spell it. It's the tip of a shoelace. You can still include Lemony Snicket, Series of Unfortunate Events, right? Kids learned a lot of new words with that. That was technically like an occasional word or two above reading level. But it flowed well with the story. It didn't feel totally out of place. It worked with the tone of that story. So yeah, kids can learn more. The more you read, the more you learn. You keep being exposed to new things. So it's not bad, but it's like a vibe check, a feeling what works and what doesn't for the story. Yeah, I have a huge problem with not being able to show without telling. I've seen in my own writing after it was pointed out to me and I haven't gone through yet and cleaned it up. Oh no! Except Tolkien is published today every year because he already has a fan. Because he's already famous from all those years ago. Yeah, publishing is a business. They'll keep making books if people keep buying them. For a new debut author who nobody knows to go up to an editor or an agent and stuff and be like, here, look at this. I spent 4 pages describing a leaf. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's a harder sell. They might be like, hey, can you spend like 1 page describing a leaf? It's because Tolkien's already famous. Yeah, of course they're going to keep printing the book. Being a new debut author today. Because he's actually good and actually read. And good is subjective. Good is subjective. There are many modern audiences now that if they were to pick up Tolkien, do not like it. There's modern audiences who pick it up and say, oh my god, I read through it because I know this story already. I know how famous Lord of the Rings, and I already like these characters and already like this stuff. But it is a slog. I've read The Hobbit. And I will tell you, yeah, I loved the story. I know enough about Lord of the Rings to have already been invested in it. If I had not previously been invested in it, dear God, no, I wouldn't have finished the fucking Hobbit. There are some sections of the Hobbit that are lots of talks of the trees and the sea. I'll fully admit, yeah, this was even younger. This is before TikTok. This is before all the fucking brain rot shit. This is when I was a younger cryptid. Yeah, my eyes glazed over some of those paragraphs. It just fucking happens. There are modern audiences who don't like SpongeBob. Yeah, I never said SpongeBob is good. There's definitely a personal taste aspect to it. The existence of people who bounce is just data. Okay, yeah. So I always say, like, good is subjective. What's good to one person isn't good to another. SpongeBob is the nemesis? The nemesis of what? Oh my goodness. Goosebumps, not sure if it taught me new words like Calvin and Hobbes did, but it had a big range for grade school demographics. Ooh. I wasn't actually much of a Goosebumps kid. I only read 1 or 2. That's interesting. Reading The Hobbit and then your eyes rolling back and forth. I'm like, man, if I didn't already love these characters from knowing about it from Tumblr. Dear God. No one would not have finished The Hobbit. The fandom had already got me hooked into it. That's why I read it. I'll even say that for some of the Chinese web novels and stuff I read. I've seen the stuff online. I already knew the fandom. I already knew some of the stuff that seemed so interesting. And then I'll pick up the start of the novel and I'm like, oh dear God, this is rough. Okay, I'm putting a lot of trust and faith in it. I'll keep reading. When siblings in the use were stolen by a sponge, vowed rivalry from an age? Oh wait, what? What is this? Is this a SpongeBob reference? I don't know this reference. Yeah, the books are a vastly different experience than the movies. I wasn't even a huge movies fan. I just was in the fandom. I was in the I'll fully admit it. I was a Tumblr kid. I was in the fandom. And I'd seen a movie or two uh for Lord of the Rings. I don't even think they had done the Hobbit movies yet. And I was like, okay, a lot of people like this Lord of the Rings stuff. It seems like it has some cool things. I want to see what all the cool I want to see what all the hubbubaloo is about. Oh, I can't even talk anymore. I want to see what all this noise is about. Let me go ahead and read the first one. The first one's The Hobbit. Got it. I'll read The Hobbit. Oh my goodness. And I'm still glad I did, right? I'm still good, but if I had not already been won over by the fandom, if it had not already had that history in it, then like, no, younger Cryptid would not have finished reading The Hobbit. Oh, that's one that's kind of like that I did. I did love a lot of the Dristy Worden books around that same time frame. You had to go into reading fan fiction in order to cleanse it. Got bored. Oh, you felt the same with Harry Potter and Percy Jackson? Interesting. I had to take a break from the book a bit because I was getting bored or I got pissed off enough to stop reading for a while. That's so I didn't have that same problem with those books. Uh, yes, this reads like intrigue over learning vocabulary. And a kid might pick it up by mistake if they read the age of a character that is near their age. I don't think so, because again, if this was a book on a shelf, it's not going to be in the kids section. And this is an older teenage character, older teenager, right? You can talk about sex. That's fine. There's no 4 pages about a leaf. Smiles creepily. No, I don't. A creative one. I'm not sure where all the worry about a kid picking this up is. People do place things like idiots. This is a more like reasonably mature book, even just from the first few pages, and I don't even know how much more mature it gets later on. But this is a little bit older. This is a little bit older right off the bat. I'm not too worried about like an 8-year-old picking this up. No, I'm not worried about that, especially from like what would be the description on the back of the book or behind the front cover. No, I don't think we're too worried about that. That's not a worry for me. But yeah, I think there's a lot of for a character driven piece, we want to see the actions and more stuff from the character rather than just an explanation and a lot of lore and a lot of behind the stuff things. We can learn about that stuff with the character. I don't want you to get too caught up in formal writing that detracts from how cool it is as a reader to be following along with Leo's adventure here. Leo's adventure to this party and to learning about what this creepy thing with the game and being uncomfortable and feeling terrified. Don't detract from that. Let the readers be immersed with Leo and in Leo's head. Let the readers follow Leo through the night and don't get too bogged down with all the unnecessary extra stuff that's detracting from Leo's story. That would be my main critique of this. I'm sorry if we went a little a little everywhere tonight figuring that out. I had to understand more. Ever heard of a game called 7 Minutes in Heaven? Yes, I am 30. That's not an unfamiliar like word choice for me. That thing is consent nightmare. Okay, so you're doing 7 Minutes in Heaven in this 1472 magical version of history, right? With elves and everything else. So that's going to happen at this party in 1472 in the historical aspect, and Leo's going to have to navigate that. And it seems like other people at the party will be pressuring them a bit. Something functionally similar by a different name. Got it. So yeah, so definitely I'm not worried about like a kid picking this up. I think this is I think you're fine with that aspect. But yeah, like it's an interesting, cool concept, like hearing this fantasy older version of somebody maybe going through something that readers this age range would also be experiencing, would find similar, and would be interesting for them to read about this. I think that's a really good thing. I was like, is that a Flash game? And then I remembered Family Guy. Callie, what? Reminds you of Teen Wolf. Oh, does something like that happen in Teen Wolf? I never watched Teen Wolf, so I don't know. 7 minutes of heaven meets 7 minutes of hell. Oh no. So yeah, I think the vibe and for the reader I think that's gonna be really great and it's gonna be well paced. Hello, hello, and welcome on in. And hey, thanks for joining the Cryptid Cult. I hope you like hanging out with us here. Um, but yeah, like if the story is following Leo through that and navigating that, like let's hang out on Leo's head. Let's not be too bogged down by too many details, by too much lore, by too much background noise, by too much over explanations. Let's hang out with Leo. Let's be attached to Leo as he navigates this. 7 minutes of hell breaks your knees. I would not personally sell it to a child under 16. Parents have discretion, of course, but BISAC category should cover any confusion. Yeah. I don't even get to all this worry about this. I'm not worried about it. Froxlander, hello, welcome on in. I'm not sure if I'm saying your username right. Is it a Frox? A Frox? AF Frox? Anyway, maybe I'll just call you Thunder. Hello, hello. But yeah, I think you're fine there. But I think the bigger two critiques is pacing and like let's hang out with Leo more. And I think if you focused more on hanging out with Leo more, not over describing stuff, not doing too much formal language or background lore, I think that will actually fix the pacing. I think one will fix the other here. So it's more kind of one critique. And I think it's a really cool concept. I think it's a cool world. It's a cool story. I'd be definitely excited to see it. Thunder, all these are fine. Got it. The man that should not be named. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna end my. We read the first couple pages here, and I think that's gonna be where my critique is now that I kind of understand more of what's happening and what you're going for. So let me. Now I gotta delete this in 2 places now. So hold on. Yes, and now I actually have to go over to the Discord too, and then I got to edit it before I forget. Okay. There we go. We did it. We're all good. We're all caught up. I don't think you enjoy the book. Yeah, for me, for some content stuff, again, I always say, like, not too much sexy stuff on stream, but also consent stuff. I have in real life, not off stream too, I have some stuff where it's like, ooh, like, gets a little too close to the heart there. Gets a little too close to my brain. I try not to. Oh, excuse me. I actually never watched Game of Thrones at all. I know a lot of people watch Game of Thrones. I was one of the few people during the times when it was really popular that I actually never watched it. And people would always be like, "Oh, why aren't you watching it, Cryptid? You'll love it. Why don't you watch Game of Thrones?" Before it went bad for the last season, right? And I'd be like, "No, it's got some rapey things in it. I'm not gonna." That's not for Cryptid's brain over here. And they were like, okay, yeah. Brain too fast? Let's see. Thank you very much for the feedback. Hey, happy to help. And hey, it's always good if I was able to help at all. I'm glad. And then also, if it doesn't work for you, then hey, it was free advice. You can also throw the advice into the dumpster because it was for free. It won't hurt my feelings. It's a good shot till season 3. Good show till season 3 or 4. Yeah, a lot of people liked it for a long time until it until it wasn't so good. Oh no. Hi, Callie. What is it? So let's see. I did that one. Will I be able to review it on the VOD? Yeah. Just check the date. So today is the 2nd. For all the VODs on the VOD channel, I put the date that we are able to search things a little bit more easily. You can expect the VOD to go up in the next day or two. I try to keep up with it. We're not too far behind. All good. I know, especially with me going back and forth between chat and everything else, sometimes it's hard to keep track and keep up. So yeah, it's always good to have the VODs for people to go back and look over the critiques and the reviews, and you know, even like think about it. You know, like think about it overnight. Be like, was that critique valid? Was it not? Did Cryptid see what I was trying to do? Did she not see it? And then you can look back over it in a few days and be like, oh, okay, now that I've rested on it a bit, I think that part was valid, but this part, I think Cryptid was off her blue brain cells a bit. It's totally fine. I've done that with own critiques before, right? When I've gotten critiques for stuff where I'm like, I gotta sleep on that one. This person's telling me to do this really big change. I gotta sleep on it for a little bit. I gotta let it simmer in the back of my brain cells, and then I'll like rest on it for a few days and think back on it, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, they were right. Or, no, they were wrong. They were crazy. It's what's really beneficial to the VODs. So let's see. I do have. Oh my goodness, what? I have so many tabs now. Ah! There we go. Now we're back on the view screen. I will change the story by. Good night, Milu. It was great having you here. So who is gonna go next here? Let's see. It's in story submissions. Maximum Sharpie, I don't think answered yet. Lord Sanctify Eli, Dew on the Grass said they would not be in tonight. That was 5th. We just did 6. 7's actually Heidenheart, but I think they're doing their own stream right now, so they might not be in right now, and that's totally fine. So yeah, if you guys get tired of Cryptid yapping for a bit, Heidenheart's also going to be having a stream tonight. They're going to do the May the Word challenge. Am I saying that right? Oh. I'm going to fly down Bitzer. Okay, let's see. It's Heidenheart. It's then Superstar. I don't think I've seen Superstar. Like the May the Word challenge. Am I saying that right? Lucas, you're at the bottom of the list, but I am here. Do we want to do that? We could do what? Dusthead, Bitzer, or Lucas. You guys are all on the list. Which one? Who's feeling up for it? Who wants to go? Yeah, Hayden's streaming. So yeah, if you guys get bored of me, feel free to go over and check out Heidenheart. What's here? What? You are 15. 15. I think I'm number 9, but you can withdraw mine if you want. Oh, do you mean just for tonight or in general? Do you not want to be in the queue anymore? Oh, you're modding another stream? Okay, Bitzer, that's fine. We can do you another night when you're not as busy. That's fine. Ciolia, let me know, like, if, and you don't have to let me know here in chat either. If you want to send me a message and be like, oh, remove me completely, or, oh, no, I just didn't want to go tonight, that's fine, too. Hey, who is in the queue? I can show it. Wait. Let's see. Window. Story submissions. There's the list. In 2 days hence, I have a real-life expedition to several stops. Oh, you have a real-life adventure? That's exciting. You're okay with going, but I'll preface by saying you're going to have a lot of the same pointers. That's fine. Let's see. Everyone's showing up, and I missed my turn days ago, or maybe a week ago. Yeah, you can read mine. It's okay. Okay, wait. So we got several people here already and capable of going. So I know Bitzer. Do not did. Oh, okay. For autocorrect. Got it. So Ciolia. Yeah, Kelly, you left the Discord. I had no way of like reaching you. Every time I did roll call, you had no way of responding. I waited a little while and then I was like, oh, okay, well I okay. But, so let's see. Because I like being able to do roll call just to figure things out like this ahead of time so we're not as stuck on stuff. So let's see. I think Superstar Ceolia, you're out of Bitzer, and what and Death's Head, you're actually earlier. So that's fine. I don't mind repeating myself. Out of the people here who are ready to go, Ceolia is the earliest. So, Ceolia, would you like to go? Is that all good? I don't mind repeating myself. It's totally fine. Because sometimes we do need people going over our work and giving us specific. Uh... Hi, Anya. It's good to see ya. We just finished the first critique. I'm figuring out who's going next. Hey, hi. You posted my side story in Raccoon News? Oh, that's exciting. I put it in the assignment desk first just to make sure everything was good. Because again, I don't really peek over at Raccoon 6 News. I like to be surprised, so I didn't want it to mess up anyone else's. You're just nervous? Sorry, it's all good. So, okay, we've decided. Yola, out of the ones capable of going today, is the earliest in the queue. So let's go ahead and get that going. I decided. I'm not going to wishy-washy anymore. I've made the decision. I have spoken. Wendell goes back to Untitled. It's here. I will not forget to do the story by now. Control C. Control V. There we go. My lo-fi is restarting. So this one says... Let me see. Let's see. Sorry for everyone who was answering back and forth, like, yeah, I can go. Like, I was figuring out who was next. I was figuring stuff out. So for the little bit about your story, this is a fantasy story. This section is the beginning where it maybe explains a little too much. Explains about the history and then goes into the daily life of the royals. So this is the beginning. So when you say is it in the beginning general, or is this... Okay, yeah, it says chapter the first. This is the beginning. There's not like a prologue or anything before this. This is the reader's first intro to this world, right? Grace Evie Nightingale. Very cool. Okay, so this is a reader's first thing. It is a fantasy story. I should have been asking this stuff earlier. That would have made the last critique go a little bit more smoother, and then I would have been saying so much crazy shit. Okay. It is description heavy, so I apologize. Well, one, you don't have to apologize. Sometimes we gotta, like, hang out and actually get the critique and get the feedback from people. And I always say, if you guys are willing to submit your stuff, I'm always willing to sit here and give you guys critique and feedback, you know? Because I always want that stuff for my writing. So I wanted to build a community where it didn't matter, where I would take it seriously as long as you guys seriously post and show up. I don't mind that. And that'd be really silly of me if I, like, held everyone to everyone else's standards. Like, oh, I showed this one person the proper uses of there, and there. Why doesn't everyone all my other raccoons know it? I said it one time. Why wasn't everyone there and remembering this? Oh no, I told one raccoon not to over-explain this stuff, and now someone else over-explains stuff, and now I'm like, ah. I want that's not helpful for anybody else, especially for any newcomers, right? Apologize for nothing. This is something you made yourself. The critique is just to figure out what shape it takes. That's a good way of phrasing it, without me over-explaining it like I normally do. One of your favorite critique partners. Thank you. I try my best, though. It's not always very good, but I do try my best, though. So yeah, it's a fantasy story. Is there anything else about this story that you want us to know before we go in? Is it... I know it's fantasy. Is it multiple characters? Is it main characters? Is it one main character? Is it a adventure quest story? Is it a coming of age story? There's a dragon burned down a party. let me get a little vibe over here. Wonder how many streams would I need for 100k points? I think it also depends on how long the streams are. Like if I have a longer stream and you guys are interacting and hanging out with that, that gives you more points because you get points after a certain amount of time. But if I have a bunch of shorter streams, that limits how much points you can earn. Multiple point of views, so there will be some head hopping. And I probably classify it as coming of age. Okay. So chapter the first. In a space unknown to man, unknown to death, and unknown to time. My model stops freaking out. Aura, goddess of creation, tended a soul. This soul was dearest to Aura. She strove to keep it close as a reminder of a bygone time. Yet the soul had taken pity on its former peers and sought to rescue them from their reckoning. Hey Mash, it's good to see you. Oh my goodness. How you doing over there? Oh my, sorry, I'm stretching real quick. So one, I always say I'm not the best copy editor, which for any new raccoons, that's more of the grammar and punctuation level of editing. Hi, Battle. Battle Chi Comics. Can I just call you Battle? Welcome on in. You just came back from Texas? Oh my goodness. I would never. I'm sorry to all my raccoons in Texas. I never want to go to Texas. And hi, Mystery. Oh my goodness, we have a couple new raccoons here. Welcome on in, first of all. But yeah, so right now we've just started reading this one. You can see the story by one of our lovely raccoons here in chat. What's wrong with Texas? It's a different flavor of Florida, and I'm a Florida cryptid. You took a mini vacation to take a break from classes. Oh, that sounds so nice and relaxing. Especially since you're still in nursing school, right? You're going for a nursing degree. That stuff is high stress. That's a lot of brain power, a lot of hard work, a lot of stress and anxiety. Being a nursing and medical school stuff is not a joke. That's serious business. You were in Texas 3 times. All 3 times there were storms. Oh my goodness, hey, thank you for the follow. And hey, I hope you like hanging out with the Cryptid Cult. But yes, for all the new little chatters in here, all my new wonderful little raccoons, I just started reading this one. Normally I'll read a few pages. As I go, I'll give feedback and critique for little things that I point out. And at the end of it, I try to point out generally 1 or 2 bigger critique pieces. This is not to pull anyone down. This is not to tear anything apart. But it's hard as a writer, and I say this as a creative person myself too, someone else who likes to write and storytell. It's hard to get better unless people show and point out things and give examples for how we can get better. So this is a nice community. You guys in chat can also point things out. The big thing is you guys just have to be nice about it too, right? We don't want to tear anybody down. We just want to help them and ourselves get a little bit better. Just email my prof. I'll be back next week. I submitted everything for the week. Bye! I was always so nervous doing stuff like that in college. I felt so bad being sick or taking any breaks. It wasn't until really my last year of college that I really did that kind of stuff. Oh, congrats on the phone. Thank you so much. I try... Is it weird? Is it embarrassing? I try really hard actually now not to look at the followers. I'll get too anxious. Let's see. So, I was saying earlier, I'm not the best copy editor. I'm more of a developmental editor-minded cryptid. So someone who knows it a bit better than me. This is a lot of commas for the first one. And the first couple, it's fine because it's the list, right? Unknown to man, unknown to death, and unknown to time. Aura, comma, goddess of creation, tended to soul. This second part, I'm like, should it be a semicolon to stop the list and then go into Aura, goddess of creation, tended to soul? Should this one be a semicolon? Should it be a hyphen? Am I wrong? Should it all be commas? Someone who knows a little bit more about copy editing, give me an idea for that. You'll be lurking. I don't want to derail the stream. No, it's all good. I'm always so happy to hear from you and Penny too. I sometimes lurk over in Penny's streams for a little bit while I'm getting ready for mine, so I always like seeing you guys. Critiquing is super important. Every great writer gets critiqued. Every published writer absolutely gets critiqued, if for nothing else than all their editors. Oh my goodness. I always say having a nice critique partner is a good little stepping stone before the brutality of an edit. An edit is no joke. The long dash. So the soul was dearest to Aura. She strove to keep it close as a reminder of a bygone time. Yet the soul had taken pity on its former peers and sought to rescue them from their reckoning. Fool, claimed Aura. Wouldst thou yet Jujian thee unworthy? Is this a more older timey speak? From what I had professors tell me, I would end the list and start a new sentence or use the long hyphen. So let's see. In a space unknown to man, unknown to death, and unknown to time. I think you're right. I don't think it's a sentence here, but I do think a hyphen. Aura, goddess of creation, tended a soul. I think a hyphen. Yeah, I was gonna go semicolon, but I think you guys are right. I think it's the hyphen. Yeah, medieval-esque. It's meant to be confusing on purpose. Okay, okay. Wouldst thou yet Judean thee unworthy? Rewardless bend thy endeavors, injecting into the pit as they wold their gods and betters. The small light of the pure soul held between Aura's hands flitted, sparkling as if to express its desire to its creator. Aura's one uncorrupted life, as it was, knew no selfishness. Or perhaps it was the opposite. I'm noticing now after that first one, I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of commas. This wish was its one selfish want, the contentment of one's worries being quelled in order to find peace in its afterlife. Skjold thou done this, thou goest knowing thy strife may never cessor. Thou wouldst never known throw pes as thou wishing. It almost sounds like old-timey speak, but also Simlish, like a mix between the two. Yeah, you got talking to about commas in college. I'm so sorry, Cryptid's gonna give you the same talking to. I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of commas. I would double check them. I'd see if there's ways to like cut down the sentences, reword them a bit, rearrange them, see if there's some way to... I'm not against commas, but like if there's a lot of them, I'm like, oh, okay. Thou wouldst undergone a circle of restless woe, trampling through the muck of corrupter, to never been free of its sinew, and I wills? Onsen as others achieveth thou which thou may never haven. Howen? Yeah, the translated version of the old talk, if you'd rather read that. I'm making sure that I generally get it. Like, thou would never know true peace as thou wish. Thou would undergo a circle of restless woe, trampling through the muck of corruption, to never been free of its sinew. Is it sinew? This one was a little confusing. I was like, is this supposed to be evils? Of sinew and evils. Onsen as others. Yeah, this, I'm making sure, like, okay, generally I understand it, but some of them I'm making sure I do. And all the while looking on. Sinew. And all the while looking on. Onsen as others achieve that which may never. Okay, so yeah, that part I would maybe see if you could do it a little bit differently to get the idea of all the while looking on, because I did not get that. I generally got it, but there were some that I'm like, double check, maybe mess with that one a little bit to make it a bit easier to understand. Still, the little light in Aura's palm twinkled. The light cast by its motion was dim. They will suffer, it pleaded with its creator. That been the purpose, replied Aura. The pure soul could not abide its own purpose being forgotten. To forget was to start the cycle anew and add more and more suffering onto a world which could not bear it. And rather than lifting the burden, Aura chose to watch as the world which failed its creator collapsed under the weight of its own sins. Feels like a Skeletor monologue? I don't know the Skeletor reference. But I was almost thinking, I don't know about a monologue. It feels like a, if you're talking about the dialogue, maybe. I was talking about the whole chapter, the first chapter. Like, this almost feels like a prologue. Like, that little backstory prologue that's being passed as the first chapter. So I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to see if it ties in, if it feels like the first chapter when we're done with this section. That's one of the things in the back of my blue hat. I'm making sure, does this feel like the first chapter? So this one only has one comma, but it is a bit of a run-on sentence. It has a lot going on. Instead, this one pure soul sought to lessen the weight for them. While this soul could not bear the entire weight, it would relive its purpose to inspire others to share it. That was why it had been chosen long ago by the very creator who now refuted this purpose in favor abandoning those she deemed sinners. Or the creator understood her favorite one's desire to protect its kin, for she too had one which she had sought to nurture. Would that these sinners not have killed her? He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Oh, see, that's why I didn't watch that one. And now this pure soul stood between them and their demise. She bargained again with the little soul. Thou attempts to right and wrongs, they forget, or they forfeit. There we go, they forfeit. And yet the little soul insisted, while Aura could retain the soul, chaining it to her side, it would stain their long-lasting friendship and dishonor her cherished one's memory. Still, to let this little soul punish itself for eternity in this way would do no one any favors. And so she acquiesced on one condition. Thou, Moten, return to me. Thou, Moten, return to me. Is that saying thou must return to me? Thou, Moten. Moten. You must. Thou must return to me. Okay. So yeah, it pretty much is a prologue, so I could relabel it. So yeah, I definitely got the feeling for a chapter 1. I'm like, this feels more like a prologue. And then whenever we are dealing with the prologue, I always say I'm not against prologues, but I always want those prologues to be earned. They have to earn that spot before chapter 1. So then if I'm looking at this, and this is kind of a what's feeling world building backstory lore, I'm like, do we want backstory lore as our prologue before chapter 1? I'm gonna think about it for a second. I'm gonna think about it to give you a good critique. Let's see. So now we're starting this next section. Let's see if this section now, with the idea that that was the prologue, does this section now feel like chapter 1? Oriclos was a hard-won kingdom. It was small, but it was diverse. To control it meant to put oneself in the center of 6 different conflicts at all times. This was a position sought by a surprising number of fools, all of whom held little actual control and gave the power to their advisors. King Priam Tyndareus, the guiding light and steady hand of Oriclos, was no such fool. Having inherited the kingdom from a tyrant, he sought to reunify the lands in the wake of the 2-decade-long onslaught against imaginary foes. He established a council, gathering representatives from various fields and regions and allowing them to discuss before coming to a unanimous decision. This was unheard of at this time, the kingdom's tradition being the absolute power of the king under the goddesses. So yeah, I was almost like, okay, this Oracle is like, that's the kingdom, this is our setting, this is where we're at, but then we're getting more into the general, like, lore still. So this does feel more like a chapter than the prologue did. But even now, I'm getting the idea of like, this feels very backstory lore-like. No wrong place. All good, all good. The previous king's decree that all able-bodied citizens not obliged to their jobs join the military was also abolished, as was the previous king's oversized army being cut down by nearly half. All that remained was the castle guard and the expeditionary forces. I don't know if I said that right, my bad. While one could argue that as subordinates of the crown, any nobility's army would be considered part of the royal army, King Priam resumed the lax control of the kings of old. But that did not mean he held no control. A royal representative found themselves in all... Is it ducal courts? Ducal courts? Yeah, it's definitely not a missing scene. Missing scene? Lesser nobility were under the watch of the regional lords, but the dukes themselves were under the scrutinous eye of the royalty, and the king was swift and fair in his judgments. He seemed to balance the pen and sword, earning him the moniker Steady Hand. In regards to the Holy Church of the Creator, known colloquially as the Oran Faith, King Priam partnered closely with the High Priest. There were no illusions that Oraclos, a kingdom founded by the goddess Ora herself, was faithful. I'm not sure, is that like an older timer way of saying faithful? Oh no, you said oops. I would have believed you. You could have passed it off. I'm like, oh, this is like the old timey way of saying faithful. Nope. Interesting spacing here too. Yet the church did not hold absolute control, merely a seat in the council. This simply meant the king's family were, on the surface, devout followers of the faith. So yeah, even now I'm getting like, okay, no, it wasn't just a little bit of lore. We're getting a lot of lore. You write in legal 2 spaces after sentences. Yeah. I would just say it looks like sometimes it's happening, and then once or twice it sometimes is not. So if that is a type of standard for you, I would say be consistent with it. For me, I haven't seen it too often. I would normally just do the 1 space before starting it. I think that's the more current standard, but I could also be wrong. So whichever standard you do, be consistent with it. And then again, it's not a huge deal if it's the wrong format. What will happen is the copy editors, or later on if this gets picked up and published, etc., there's all those different layers of the editing. A later version of the editing will fix all that. They'll go and they have to fix all that. If it's a product of the justification, but it's easily corrected. Yeah. So what I say, it's not a huge deal. I'll point it out because I would feel silly not pointing it out. I feel like it's a disservice if I don't point out things I see when I do catch those things. But if you're like worried about like, oh god, what's the right one? It's gonna ruin my career. I'll never get published just because I did 1 or 2 spacings. That's not the end all be all. If whatever publishing house does want it in a particular format, during the rounds of edits, it will be formatted that way. I want to be shaking in my cryptid boots about it. But now I'm looking at, we've started this a little bit, and I'll be truly honest here. I'm like, oh my eyes are kind of going a little double over here. There's mostly the lore here, mostly the background stuff from the world building, and unless the main character is one of these kings, such as King Priam was the first one mentioned. Unless King Priam is our main character that we're going to be following, I'm kind of wondering, like, normally we want, oh, Priam is one of the 3 point of views in this story. Yeah, okay. Phew. Okay, so that makes it better. I'm like, oh, if Priam isn't even the main character, then geez, like, we're way far off. Like, I want to see what are one of our main characters here. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see what they're up to. Priam is, so that works. That helps. For it, I'd almost be like, could we be more of in a shot of, King Priam doing something? Is he in the throne room at least thinking of this stuff, while some of his other advisors drone on and on about unimportant stuff. Um, that would at least give us an exact like time and place that we're connecting with King Priam. Just want to point out, did you know your little Hoge tracks along with your eye movements? It stands straight up when you widen your eyes like a little exclamation mark. Yeah, it's part of the Sumiko model when it has that. And I actually, when I was first thinking of Cryptid, because again, this is just a customizable model. This isn't the fully custom model. When I was thinking of the getting the custom Cryptid model, I actually never really thought of having the Ahoge hair strand, the little hair antenna here at the top for everyone to see. But now I'm so used to it and I love it so much and I feel like it's so expressive that I'm like, no, I need it. Whenever I get the official cryptid model, I want to keep this because I think it's so fun, it's so expressive, it's such a nice little bit of movement even when I'm not doing too much. I love my little hair strand here. Yeah, you noticed it wobbling around. Yeah, I think even there's some. It's the head movement. It tracks too, and then you're right. It also tracks a little bit to the eyes. I think if I can do like a super like glare, if I can pick up a glare, it does the lowered one. If it's the more expressive part, it goes straight up like the little antenna. It's a mixture of the head tracking and the eye tracking. I did originally write a draft where he was like getting dressed and going to court, but I thought I'd throw the slogan at the beginning to get it out of the way, but I can see that it's backfiring. Yeah, like it's even, I'm wondering, for this story, how much of this comes into play for the characters, for their adventure, for whatever happens. Does this backstory come in? And if it is relevant, if it is part of the stuff that's happening, could it then find place at those important parts? To give an example, to give a more generic example to kind of show what I'm talking about, we normally don't explain at the start of a chapter what a fantasy country's currency is, right? We don't explain like their currency and stuff, right? But then when our character, as they're going on their adventures and they're at a merchant and they gotta buy a Pegasus to go and fly and defeat the evil wizard, and they gotta hand over like currency, like the Pegasus merchant is asking for currency, then we might explain like, oh god, like this character's never had much money, their pockets are a little empty, they have a goblin coin that looks like a gold coin, but after a few hours it'll go back to just pocket lint, and it'll explain that, and that we're handing over the goblin coin, this fake gold coin, and then we're gonna run with the Pegasus and go. So normally we explain details of the world building as they become relevant in the story. It's the main reason for the plot, to be honest. Oh, okay, so is this a more political one? Is there a lot of political stuff happening? Is this a political drama in the fantasy world? Let me see here. So this is all the lore. But as the years went on, it was clear something weighed on the king's conscience. His countenance became drawn, and he steadily retreated into the shadows, often wearing gray and dour drapes. Having experienced all this, King Priam thought that his most troublesome years were behind him, but fatherhood proved another challenge in and of itself. His son was calm in demeanor, frequently described as plain and demure in comparison to his heroic father. But the truth could not be any more different. The boy, even at a young age, held strong convictions and attempted to act on them often. At 3 years, he had already been swinging faux swords and spoke words complex for others his age. However, his body could not keep up, and he oft fell ill at night. And then the dreams began. So even this, like, it's mostly the lore, and I'm like, okay, now we're getting into he's a father now. Like, it's describing so many years, it's describing so much of a time span. I think it would, before you want to, like, choose a scene, choose one moment in time, choose a scene for us to start interacting and seeing King Priam. How does King Priam act? What is he like? Rather than just his history in this kingdom and everything that's being explained to us as the homework. So King Priam had sought solitude in his office, poring over paperwork regarding claims of supernatural activity north of the capital, Duela. The evening candles marked the late hour of Virago, and the moon was now halfway in its descent and no longer visible from his windows. All was still and slumbering, and he enjoyed a cool cup of spiced Meli tea in preparation for his own sleep. His calm thoughts were thrown awry when he heard his son scream. Regardless of the nature of the scream, it was well past the hour for 5-year-olds to be awake and playing, so any scream at this time boded ill. Being as awake and alert as he was the first to arrive. So main character is sort of the Avatar, the Last Airbender. He's the little sparkling soul at the beginning. Okay. So I'm almost thinking here, right now, spooky. This feels like, oh wait, this is a scene. This is a moment in time. It's late. He's going over papers. He's hearing of this work of supernatural activity. That always kind of gets us into the mood of what kind of stuff happens here, right? Is it valid that they think, oh yeah, supernatural things happen, that there are ghosts and ghouls and goblins and stuff that happens? Or is it all myth and fancy and he has to figure out, like, hey, what's actually happening that the townspeople are claiming is supernatural activity, right? So it's late, he's dealing with all this, and then there's this scream, and he knows it's his son screaming, and all this different stuff. I'd be like, no, this is the moment we start at. What is the son screaming about? How far away is he? Like, what is it? Is it a I don't know of how often people also hang out with kids. Kids, different screams are very noticeably different. When a kid screams in pain, like they are hurt, like they have fallen over and broken a bone, that is a much different shriek than like two kids playing and like yelling at each other, right? Kids screaming in terror from a nightmare is very much different compared to being angry at somebody, like yelling at someone because they made you mad as a little kid. So as a parent, normally even as an adult, if they're nearby, if they hear children screaming, you very much get the vibe of like, that is a bad scream. Something horrible has happened. I don't know what, I don't know why. Something bad has happened. So that could be a really, really fun thing to go into here of if the kid's woken up from a nightmare. It probably sounds horrific. And being royalty, it's even your first thought, was an assassin. Is it one of these supernatural things he's been reading about with like witches and goblins and ghouls? This could be a very cool scene to start off with. The maid normally stationed outside the prince's door had gone inside to comfort him, but her gentle words and soothing hands did nothing to stop the flood of tears and hoarse sobs so unlike his placid child to utter. King Priam set aside the blade he had brought with him and entered the room. Yeah, see, he even brought a blade. Like, this guy was ready. He's like, what? That was not a fun playing scream. He even shows up outside the door. The maid's not there. And then you turn the corner. She's inside. She's comforting the kid, right? Like, but this could be a very cool, tense scene to be part of. He was ready. He doesn't mess around. Yeah, this is the time here. Not all the lore that I was kind of struggling to keep track of. This is now a scene where I'm like, oh, this is picking up. This is showing character. This is showing motives. This is the thing where I'm like, this should be multiple pages. This stuff, I'm like, this could all come in later. I don't want you to get rid of it, but maybe save it in another document. This is good stuff for you, the writer, to know and implement stuff throughout. But as far as when you were wondering, like, when is a reader captivated? When is a reader interested in my characters? And when are they captivated by my story? Here, when you have a scene, when you have action, when you have characters reacting to stuff, this is when I'm like, oh, okay, now we're following King Priam. What is happening here? So he's entered the room. He's put down his blade. He's entered the room. The prince's eyes weren't shut tight. Instead, they were opened wide and staring off into some unseen, panicked place, and he lay stiff in the maid's arms, clutching at his clothes. A glance into the corner of the room revealed nothing. Oh my goodness, my tracking is so difficult today. What's going on? So the room revealed nothing. So King Priam knelt beside his child's bed and took him from the maid, who fled the room to fetch the physician. Another run-on sentences. Blah, 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 blah. King Priam brushed the loose hair out of the boy's face and smoothed over his cheeks to check their temperature. He was flushed from stress. I would say, so here it's even explaining stuff. He's flushed from stress. It's even hard to know at the time. That's you telling the reader stuff. And here, as the readers, we only know what's happening unless you explain things to us. So here, it could be a really tense moment of like, he's flushed, he's sweating, he's staring into this empty corner. That could be creepy. Then us as the readers were like, is it ghosts? Is it witches? Is he cursed? Is he sick? Was it just a nightmare? Keeping that suspense for a little bit actually isn't bad. So I don't want you to feel the need to explain things to the readers all the time. This could be very, he was flushed, he was sweating. His back was drenched in sweat, right? Like he seemed terrified, he was pale. Neat. Suddenly the boy's eyes locked onto Priam. The movement was so immediate and exact, it startled the king, and he kept his reaction subdued. His son's hastened breaths slowed, almost to the point of not breathing at all as he continued to stare up at him. It wasn't the actions of someone seeing their savior. It was the opposite. He was hiding in plain sight. He was hiding in plain sight. Meet, transforms into a roadrunner. And this is, I give this critique to multiple people, and it's joked about in if you do a lot of fan fiction stuff, if you're in a lot of fan fiction spaces, it's the gay fanfic problem. When you have two characters that use the same pronouns in English, other languages have ways of structuring their sentences that it makes it more clear. But in English, when you have two characters interacting and they use the same pronouns, in this case, King Priam and his son both use he, him, it can get a little confusing when you're talking about them. Oh no, not the fanfic mentions. Yeah, secretly, Cryptid knows all about you guys. Cryptid knows all the crazy stuff you guys read. So in this case, it was the opposite. He was hiding in plain sight. It gets a little confusing. Do you mean Priam's hiding in plain sight, or do you mean the boy's hiding in plain sight? Gets a little try to fight sometimes, but still slip through. Yeah, it's a constant. It's the gay fanfic writer's dilemma. You know, even the stuff like, oh, he picked up his bag, and then you have to clarify, like, wait, did he pick up his own bag? Did he pick up his partner's bag? Like, wait a second. It gets a little confusing, right? Oh my goodness, let me double check my lo-fi beats real quick. So that's one of the things here. I'm like, who's hiding in plain sight here? He couldn't let the boy choke himself, so Priam tapped his cheek and hushed. Be calm, here now, and I will banish your fears. Be still, breathe. That's why there's a lot of the boy. Like that one video game, oh no. The boy's round, rosy eyes finally scrunched up. Rosy eyes? I know rosy cheeks. Is rosy eyes also a common one? I haven't heard rosy eyes before. Who's hiding in plain sight? WWE. His name is John Cena. Oh, it's very anime. They're pink. He's got pink eyeballs? Oh my goodness. Okay. His name is John Cena. You Raccoon News side story? Ooh, that's exciting. Maybe when I'm done with this one, then we'll go over there. We're on page 3 currently. I'll try to finish page 3, and then I'll give my overall critique and review. But yeah, so it's actually kind of funny so far. I noticed with the backstory and the lore, like I said, it was going on like too long. It was a lot of it. Now that we're in the scene, right, the cool stuff, the scene, that characters are doing stuff and interacting and hanging out with each other and stuff is happening. Um, it's almost going too fast, right? We're not spending enough time in this cool scene. Um, this it's almost more just the list of what happens and what things looks at. Like be feel free to, if you like writing a lot, if you like over explaining stuff more. I would think here, now that we're in a scene, now that we have interactions, this is more where you want to be cool and artsy and explain stuff. This is the time to do it. Rosy eyes finally scrunched up and he blinked away heavy tears. He gasped and threw his arms around Priam's neck, sobbing anew. Priam rubbed small circles into his back, albeit awkwardly. Comfort was not something he was equipped to give, and yet the boy sought everything from him and not from either of his parents. Oh, so he's the grandfather. Never mind. Right? No, it's his son. Not from either of his partners, not parents, partners. No, he's the dad. He's just in a throuple. Okay. Moments passed, and the tears were gone by the time Queen Cassandra entered. She cooed, "Oh, my baby," and took him from Priam. Not long followed Grand Master Heracles, keeping a respectable distance, though worried all the same. It wasn't until the royal physician appeared that the prince was finally settled, curled up in his mother's arms. "Tell this one what ails you, my prince," crooned the old doctor in his odd lilt. "What has brought you so much pain?" I know it's supposed to be a little bit more old-timey. It's a little bit older, but I'm like, the dialect still feels a little clunky. The dialect's a little clunky to me. The prince's voice was smaller than it had ever been, even when being admonished. "The castle was on fire. Was this in your dream?" "I saw it," the prince argued loudly. "Everything was hot. There was fire everywhere, and everyone was screaming. He went quiet again, but with some urging from Cassandra, he continued. "They were trying to show me something. I found a room and I touched something and they came out of the walls. They were big and loud and everyone was yelling and everything shook." Actually, the kids' dialogue isn't too bad. Priam had no idea what the basis for the child's dream could have been, unless someone had been telling his son inappropriate stories. "Where did you hear something like that?" "I didn't," the boy replied, casting his eyes to the floor and trembling. "Try not to scold our son for dreaming," Cassandra said. "I wasn't." Priam attempted to make his tone gentle, but it still came out stilted. Father," rose-colored eyes locked onto his once more. "You and Mother and Heracles and all the guardians. You were all the faces." Cassandra hushed him again. "My darling, it was just a nightmare. We are all here with you, and we're okay. Dr. Yosef will make you some nice tea, and we'll go back to sleep, all right?" Their night closed, but the dreams did not. Every night for a week, his son woke screaming, harangued by some nightmare. Some were the same, and some were different. Even so, they threatened a small boy in his sleep. King Priam could not let this stand. They attempted to medicate him, but no sleep draught worked. The dreams persisted, and now the prince stalked the halls as if in a waking slumber, exhausted and feeble. It ached to see him. Priam himself did not rest until he found a cure for his son. He could see it as nothing other than a curse for his past deeds, and as he raged in his ineptitude, he made a discovery. In the throne room, while he was brooding after dismissing court, he found a hidden door behind the tapestry on the back wall. Yeah, I definitely, so that's where I'll end the reading for now, after the first couple of pages. I will say I'm not sure. The first section I do think reads more as a prologue than a chapter 1. If we look at it separately as a prologue, I'm not sure. My suggestion would be to keep it. I almost feel like if there's some backstory about this soul being reborn and has to return back to Aura and stuff, I almost feel like that's the kind of stuff that could be revealed over time, maybe in the story somehow. You would know more about it than I would, but I wonder if there's more finding out stuff with this character, with this reborn soul, if that's what happened. Um, and all the implications of it. I wonder if this knowledge, this stuff that this prologue tells us, could be revealed a bit more naturally through the story. Because right now I'm almost like, I'm a little skeptical of it. I'm a little skeptical of it right now. But if you do want to keep it, I would put it as a prologue. It is very clearly a prologue and not chapter one. For chapter one, I would skip past all the backstory. I think the starting scene is King Priam's there. He hears his son screaming, right? It's the middle of the night, his son is screaming, and the action there. And I would focus on that and really letting the readers live in that moment. You know, what does the screaming sound like? When we're in that scene, a lot of it's just the telling and explaining. I'd really like show a lot in that scene. Let the readers live in that scene. Um, Describe what the scream is like. Don't just tell us how um, Priam's attempting to explaining everything Priam's doing. Let us be in the scene. Let us just hear his words. Let's just hear how other people react to him. What does Cassandra look like? How does Cassandra speak? Does anyone even like that Dr. Yosef is there? Is Dr. Yosef a trusted character or not? Um, how does the kid react to stuff? How does the kid react to the doctor? How does the kid react to being picked up by his mom the first time? Um, is Priam now this very powerful, influential king figure? Now he's standing awkwardly by this too small bed. Everyone else is being better at him at it, and he's just shuffling his feet a little bit and getting angrier as the night goes on, being more grumpy. He's in his night clothes. Um, Really let us like see and live in this scene. And then I would almost and then it time skips a bit, even though we're in this very short scene, to the next like week or more explaining stuff. So we're already even at a time skip. And then it time skips further into he's always on a look for his son, and then at some point in the future he's in the throne room and he finds a hidden door on the back wall behind his throne. Um, so that's a little bit of time skips happening a lot. Those should probably be separate scenes, rather than just a couple quick paragraphs covering a big multiple time skips after this scene. I'd almost wonder if this scene should end with the son going to sleep or saying one of the dramatic things. Remind me of the thread I need to remove for my second book. Oh no. Always more work to be doing, huh? Always more work. We could end with that scene, start a new scene of maybe him awake another night and he sees his son sleepwalking down the halls when he should be asleep. My show not tell problem. Chapter 1 is just sort of a setting up a scene, and chapter is where I would say technically starts. Chapter 2 is where it starts. So I can think about relabeling it a prologue. Okay. Next chapter. Chapter the second. Prince Kiro. Yeah, okay, this already seems like I'm just quickly looking at it. This seems like we have characters, we're in a scene, we're in a moment. Yeah, so that seems already to be like, yeah, we're in scenes, now we're in character interactions. That seems a little bit more of a good start. But as far as starting, I think this scene here with the waking up to the son screaming, the prince screaming, is a really cool scene. I think there should be a little bit more focus on that out of everything else from the first couple of pages. So that would be my critique there. It's a good idea, but narratively not viable. Yeah, yeah. See, sometimes you have to be like, oh yeah, like this was a cool thought I had, but man, it does not. It does not serve the story as a whole. Oh no. Same with me. My biggest example for that is that Alex Kediet character, that super cool etiquette focused assassin character I had made, and he took up too much screen time at the end after I introduced him. It took all the attention away from the main characters. He was just supposed to be a side character, so I was like, God damn it. He has to be cut. Kiro is the main character. See, I thought it was a bit of a slog too, so I'll try to rework it. Okay, so Kiro is the main character. Hmm. Who is... Sorry, excuse me. That was a yawn. Prince Kiro. Is Prince Kiro the son we were just reading about? Hmm. So I think he's only ever referred to as his son, right? In this first section. Prince Kiro is Priam's son. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So it's not even a bad thing if Priam's the main character and Kiro's the main character. It's actually not a bad scene that the opening scene would have both of them in it. It's actually not bad. So yeah, I still think that's a really good potential strong scene to start with. But maybe even mentioning if the boy here is one of the main characters, I would consider, it's not a hard edit, but as a suggestion, I would label him at least briefly, saying like, oh yeah, the boy Kiro was his name. Da 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 da. The Priam can still mostly refer to him as the boy, but it's not a bad idea to reveal that the boy's name is Kiro.
Anti-cryptid. I hear a rumbling noise.
What's the rumbling noise? Wait, was the rumbling noise the raid? Oh my goodness, let me type a welcome message for our raiders. Welcome raiders. Hello, hello, welcome on in raiders. To raid, hide the booze. We don't have... Do you raccoons have booze? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I noticed like right away the next chapter is already revealing, hey, oh, Prince Kiro. So I'm assuming it's going to be revealed pretty soon. So I'm like, why hide it if it's going to be revealed immediately after? You're a raider too? Hi, Deathhead. Hello and welcome on in, raiders. We just finished reading up the first few pages of this. Your mod duties are done. That's super nice. But yeah, welcome on in. We do reading and critiques over here. Hello, hello. Documancer? Oh, that sounds cute. I like that. Make sure to change that. Yeah, again, it's all suggestions. It's all just critiques and feedback. Is it author Julie D. Fisher? Is that how you say it? Hello, hello. But yeah, we give critiques and feedback and different things like that. So that's your kind of cup of tea, then welcome on in. Oh, thank you for the follow. And hey, I hope you like hanging out with the Cryptid Cult. So yeah, one of the things here, I always say you guys can give critiques as well. The only thing is you guys just also gotta be nice about it. We only want to help authors get better, help authors and writers and storytellers get better. And sometimes in order to get better, well, we gotta get critique and point out the stuff that can be improved. But it's never to tear anybody down. It's just to look at another pair of eyeballs and point out stuff and point out how readers and other people would be viewing this. But it's not to tear anybody down. So when you guys are also giving critique and feedback in the chat, just keep that in mind. We always want to be nice about it. Okay, you're all good. Hold my pen. Prompt cat rated. Nice, nice. Yeah. So hold my pen. So hold on. Let me look up. Did I say hi to them yet? I don't think I did. First of all, thank you so much for the raid, and I hope you guys are having fun. Did you guys have a good stream? 9 more follow stuff. Don't remind me. I'm not looking at it. But yes, did you guys have a good stream? What were you guys up to over where you guys come from? Were you guys doing anything fun? Any good writing? Any good reading? What was up? For now, let me go ahead and get rid of this because we just finished it. So, and then Raymond, you'll get rid of that. Let's see. We are a prompt submission live reading show. Live reading. Oh, so people send you different prompts and then you read the prompts live? Do you have to like write, do you guys write out based off the prompts and you read it out live right after you write it? Is that kind of the idea? Every week, Promptcast reads submissions based on the week's prompt. Oh, so they send out something the week before, people write off that prompt, and then they read it out? That's super cool. Took us a minute to get started. We had 10 prompters tonight. Oh, that's a lot of reading to do. I'm only on my second critique so far. I just finished the second. I only get a couple done whenever I stream. It's because I try to get like a good feel for the start of it. I try to read a couple pages. And at the end of the night, we select 3 prompts, and the audience votes on what the next week's prompt is. Ooh, that's super exciting. What's eel? Is it eel how slow I am at reading? I only get a couple people done each stream. To be fair, we had to finally limit people to 2,500 words per submission. Okay, how long is that? Let's see here. Let's get perspective here. Let's see. Because I don't even know, like, how long? That's at least a couple paragraphs. And I have to, okay, yeah, that's plenty of paper. Yeah, that's still chunky. That still gives them plenty of space and time to write out a cool idea, cool little intro. Also, I do in-depth live critiques the same way you do. Yeah, I did. I know not a lot of people do critiques. There are a few channels here that do critiques, and that's really, really, really cool, and that they do that. But you guys are doing like prompts and the readings and stuff and voting on the next prompts. I think that's a really cool, fun writing activity. It's definitely, I see that as a fun way to encourage people to keep up with writing, having a new thing to inspire them and focus on stuff, and even write when you're not inspired, even if it's not a prompt you would normally do. You're like, oh no, I gotta do it though. I gotta keep up my streak. Oh my goodness. When I first started streaming over in this section, I was doing the November 50k words challenge. So I was doing a shitty rough draft live on stream, and it just kind of morphed into writing critiques from there. We tend to keep that in our Discord in breakout channels for one-on-one feedback when asked. Oh, so you guys still do the critiques when asked. That's a really, really nice thing to do. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of brain power. It's a lot of focus in order to like really, when asked, to look at someone's work and think critically and come up with good ways of of trying to give improvement and advice. I'm still learning about it. I think I've gotten better the more I do it, but even then I still sometimes struggle with it. But it's super cool. You guys actually offer that as well. That's so nice. I know a lot of writers, me included, we always are looking for stuff like that. I always look at those writing forums, like even the Reddit forums or stuff like that, that say like, oh, writing critiques. And it's mostly just a lot of writers submitting stuff for critique, and not a lot of people actually offering to give the critique. A lot of people want critique, not a lot of people offer critiques. That's why I was really happy, and I try to take it seriously that I do critiques over here, because I know a lot of people want that. They want feedback in order to get better. And I've gotten better with critiques. When people seriously sat down and gave me critiques and gave me focused, valuable feedback, that's when I've always improved the most in my writing craft. So, but also welcome back, Bitzer. Let's see. I appreciate you taking the time to look at it. Thank you so much for submitting. I always know you said in the beginning that you were nervous about submitting it, so I hope when it all said and done you realized it's not as scary as you feared. I try to be a good intro place for people getting their first few critiques, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people have said that I'm their first critique ever, and that's really, really nerve-wracking to do it on stream in front of an audience and get a critique like that. That's not an easy thing to do. So I always think you guys are very brave and very trusting of me and of all the other raccoons here in chat to do that. We also help brainstorm, help with grammar questions. Oh my god, that's a huge help. I always say I'm not a copy editor type of cryptid. I'm not the best at grammar. Connect people to editors and cover artists. Just a chill, hangout, digital bookish commune. Oh my goodness, that's so amazing. Oh my goodness, thank you for the bits. That's very kind of you. You didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. Um, that's a great community area. I would always want that kind of place to eventually happen with the cryptid cult. That's amazing that you guys have that. That's such a nice community. That's such nice resources. I think writers that get into those spaces and have that and share that kind of community building and resources with people, that it always makes a community stronger. Um, but yeah, the sorry guys, if you guys were ever looking to cryptid for grammar stuff, I'll never I'll never be able to provide it. I'm more of a developmental edit kind of cryptid. Oh my goodness. But I love that. That's really neat. If you, I normally say not to put in links, but yeah, if you guys have a link to your Discord, I'd be happy for you guys to post it. I'd love to see it. That's just me as a little blue cryptid. I'd even love to see it. Let's see. There's a link on her Discord to a form. Oh, may I ask for how does story submission work here? So there's just a few rules. One, we don't accept any generative AI stuff. And then two, it's totally fine for you. This is not a shaming thing, but I get really embarrassed reading like sexy, spicy type scenes on stream. So if you do write that, I just would not read or critique that particular scene on stream. But you can still have stuff like the violence and the gore and the blood and the fighting. I just get embarrassed reading spicy scenes on stream. So I ask you guys don't submit that for me. You guys are chaos gremlins? Oh, then you guys will fit in perfectly fine here. Oh, good. I have chaos raccoons over here. So as long as it's not generative AI and it's not a spicy scene, if you go into the Discord, and you can also do !Discord. Here, I can even do that. There you go. I should pull up the link. That's the Discord, and there will be a section called Story Submissions. And you can go over there, and it's just a Google Doc. It's just a little Google form, and you fill out all that stuff. It's not a lot of questions. It's just a few little things. And yeah, that's how you're part of it. And then you're part of the queue. And I will never read or critique your stuff without you here in chat. Oh, you're already a lurker on there? Oh my goodness. You said some of your art, but not your writing yet. You should totally share your writing in the future. We'd love to see it. And hey, thank you for the follow. I hope you like hanging out with us. 500 biddies? I know, I'm trying so hard not to look at numbers. I get too anxious when I see number go up, when I see followers go up, when I see people actually like donating bits and stuff. I get so nervous, so I try to just say thank you and move on because I get anxious. I hope you got a lot of the critique. I hope so. I always say, if you guys, it's a free critique. I give you guys the critique for free. And if it doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. It was a free critique. You can throw it in the trash for free too. It won't hurt my feelings. Sometimes people get your vision and they can offer good critique and feedback on how to help you get that vision that you want. And sometimes people, and even me, we don't see the vision and we might accidentally steer you astray. So it's good to look at feedback critically and see if it's actually stuff that'll help you.
Auntie Cryptid, I just ate all the pineapple pizza. It was a very big pizza. It was as big as 100 pizzas.
Wow.
I found it in the trash. Noms, would you like some?
Pineapple pizza, it's all for you, baby raccoon. It's all for you. That's that. I'm happy that you're happy with your pineapple pizza. So happy you're happy, but it all goes to you, baby raccoon. So let's see, I got a yes. I think someone was asking earlier if we could do Raccoon Channel 6 news. You can submit whenever. You can submit whenever you want. You're just added to the queue. And then again, I will never read your story without you being here. I will sometimes do a roll call before stream starts, and I'll see a few people who are going to be in for that stream, who are going to be present, and then I'll choose them and I'll go through it. So being in queue just saves your work there. That way it's easy for me to pull up. I know that you want to be in. I'll keep an eye out for you. But it's not like it's in an exact order. And if you miss a stream, then oh my god, you missed your critique, it's all over. Like, no, it's when we're both online, you're here and you're ready for a critique, and I see you're in the queue and I'm like, oh hey, Documents is here in chat. Documentsy, do you want to go today? There's no one else in front of you in the queue, and you'll be like, sure, and then we read your stuff. It's nice and simple, because I think it's really good to have the back and forth in chat. Sometimes I have to ask questions to clarify. Sometimes you have questions for me. Sometimes I'll explain things too much, and then I'll try to compensate by not explaining other things enough. And so you might be like, "Hey, you said this. What does that mean? How do I fix this? You said that's a problem, but why is it a problem? How else could I fix it? How else could I address this?" And I'll be like, "Oh, okay," and then we can talk about it. So it's good to have the back and forth. You're so happy with your pink diamond. I'm so happy, Zoe. You're a little shy with my work, so I like to know how it goes before I submit my writing. It's all good. And if you even so when you're in the queue right now, you're gonna be towards the later half of the queue. So when you are in the Discord and you submit like, "Hey, yeah, I'm here for roll call. I'll be in the stream tonight. I want to go." You'll see how I do it with other people. You know, you'll see like, okay, Cryptid does this. She'll point out things as she notices it. And then at the end, she'll give the one or two big things of critique. If someone submits frequently, like one piece, and I'll keep reading like multiple chapters out, which is totally fine. Multiple people do that. That way I can keep reading and keep going through it. Um, they'll just keep submitting, so I'll read the next chapter, and give more critique. Uh, when it's at that level, sometimes I'll give them more critique, and I don't want that to throw you off as a newcomer. You'll be over there like, "Oh god, Cryptic gave them like 20 pieces of critique. Oh, that's too scary. Oh my god, she's gonna rip my piece to shreds." No, like you'll be a new person. I'll just do one or two things. It's fine, right? We don't want to tear anybody down here. We want to just offer things to help focus on and improve on. But if someone submits frequently, then it's like, okay, they're serious. They can handle critique. They kind of know what the vibe is. They need more critique because they're serious about this piece. And so when you submit frequently, I sometimes give those people some more things. Yeah. Death's Head's submitted frequently, and it's so amazing. I do Death's Head as the example a lot of somebody who, because they submitted frequently, and they paid attention to the critique and not paid attention. They implemented the feedback and critique I gave them. They took it to heart and they started focusing on it. One of Death's Head stuff when they first started submitting was too fast pacing. That everything was too fast. Like entire scenes would be a paragraph. Stuff that should happen in a whole chapter was just like a quick mention in a paragraph or two. It was very fast pacing. And I was pointing that out the first few times they submitted, and I was showing it. And then they submitted again, and then the pacing was a bit better. And I said that, I'm like, but it's still too fast. And then it was the back and forth through stuff until finally I was like no, like this is amazing pacing for this fight scene. This fight scene is lasting a couple pages. It has a lot of back and forth. This is the pacing you're looking for. This is what you're aiming for. This is great. And by the end of it, they have another work they're submitting that's a script that I think the pacing's brilliant on for TV. Um, through tech support, it's been a nightmare. Oh no, poor Archie. Last time we got a compliment. Yeah, see? I try to point out, it's not just about pointing out bad things, it's also about pointing out good things. That's part of a critique. If someone's just giving you bad things for a critique, then that's not always helpful. It's also helpful to know the good things we do. And Justin, what was getting better at pacing, was getting better at stuff. I was like, oh my god, like yeah, like this is what you should be aiming for. This is it. You've and it was really, I don't think just good for them, but also for me too, of being able to see like if you focus on stuff, if you get feedback and critique, and you focus on it for a few weeks to a few months. It's only been a few months. Holy crap, the difference, the improvement as a writer, as a crafter, as a storyteller. Hopped into the voice chat to try and help with the tech support. It's kind of what I'm known for. Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. I don't have no idea how the voice chat stuff works. So sorry if anything with the Discord voice chat is off. It's because I hardly ever use it. I'm so sorry. When sometimes more description and longer sentences can help with pacing. Absolutely. And same thing. Some people have too slow pacing, right? It's 4 pages talking about a leaf. Maybe some of the description can be cut. Maybe you only need 1 page to describe the leaf. Right? It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things where we're getting feedback, getting a community. I believe that's called dry. Oh, what's happening? Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, they're in a voice chat over there. They're helping each other out. I'll leave them to it. But other words, for all my new raccoons here, yes, there's a segment we're going to do now called Raccoon Channel 6 News. If you didn't already get the vibe, then yes, all my lovely followers and community members here, you guys are all raccoons. Oh, dry writing, too much detail. I mean, got it. Here's 5 pages about this one tree. Exactly. That's where it's like, oh no. So let's see, this one is done. So we're going to do a little section here called Raccoon Channel 6 News. That is from Raccoon Channel 6 News. It is by raccoons for raccoons. So in the Cryptid Roots universe, yes, the raccoons have taken over an abandoned news station and has started running Raccoon Channel 6 News. Did I miss it? Nope. I'm just getting started by it. Don't you worry. I'm just explaining the bit. So I'm going to set it up real quick. But if you guys are new here, I hope you'll tune in. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. So, Raccoon Channel 6 News. And lower that down a bit. And then I'm going to move it over to Discord. There we go. It's not only for
I
raccoons.
Can't wait to tune into this gotcha radio game.
To this gotcha radio game? Wait, what? Oh no, what's been happening over in Raccoon? I try purposely not to look at it until I'm reading it here live for you guys. That way you guys get my first reactions to it. Yeah, so one of the newest things was one of the normal host of Raccoon Channel 6 News is run by Zoe the Archivist here in chat, but in the Cryptid Roots universe, their Raccoon Sona is Archie the Archivist, and they're the host of Raccoon Channel 6 News, and they started learning about raccoon capitalism and started getting their little raccoon paws into all sorts of different businesses and different things over the course of the different news segments. And now one of the newest stories is a rival has appeared. Calling out Archie the Archivist, the Channel 6 News host, and saying that they are going to fight against them, and it's caused a raccoon civil war in the Cryptid Roots universe community. The Coyote Guard has even sent, which is my mods. In universe, they're called the Coyote Guards. The Coyote Guard has even sent out an official civil emergency alert message saying that everyone has to have a mandatory shelter in place effective immediately while the Coyote Guard investigates this new raccoon, this scavenger, Arya the Scavenger. So there's a lot of stuff happening. So it's important to keep up with the news. That's why. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Is anyone else asking anything? No, I think we're good. So we also had the Sports Watch Live by Doc Mars, then the Civil Emergency Message. Is this the new one? May 1st? I think this is the new one, so I'll start here. So yes, I know it's a little hard to read everything. Hey, I'll be reading everything out loud. You guys are fine. It's the best I got to fill everything up. If I make it the whole Discord thing fill the screen, the text is too small. If I try to make it bigger, it gets cut off. It just is. This is your raccoon propaganda. Okay. Let me restart the lo-fi beats. As the commercial break begins on TV, the screen fills with the bright colors and whimsical art style of a children's TV cartoon. Long ago, raccoons lived with humans. They made yummy trash for us, and we stayed out of their way. But one day, everything changed. Suddenly, Raccoons ruled the world. We could have all the trash we could ever want. A drawing of a raccoon with devil horns appears on screen. Oh my goodness. But then, one raccoon came to change it all. They were greedy and wanted every raccoon's trash. Oh my goodness, Hyde and Heart's rating with the party at 3. Hi. No, Archie, you know Hyde and Heart. They're part of the Coyote Guard. It restores Mercury. Hello. It's so good to see you. I thought. Hi again. Oh, and hey, thank you for the follow. And hey, I hope you like hanging out with the Cryptid Cult. Raids the zombies, hunters beware. Hyde and Heart is here. Welcome on in. Did you have a good stream, Hyde and Heart? Oh, you sang my praises. Oh my goodness, now I'm gonna be embarrassed. We just started Raccoon Channel 6 News, so you actually came in at the perfect time. Hello and welcome on in, Raiders. You would say it was successful? That's great news. That's fantastic. But then one raccoon came to change it all. They were greedy and wanted every raccoon's trash. They couldn't just steal our trash. We couldn't let them. So they made something called raccoon capitalism. They tricked us into just giving them our trash. Oh, you guys notified them? That's so cute. I spoke of how you were top 10 of the best stream. Oh my goodness, no, I am not. Had such potential. I hope so. I'd like to, because Cryptid Roots, for those who are new here, is actually a business me and Roots founded a few years ago during 2020, 2021. It's actually been a business. We are a patch embroidery and sewing business, doing all sorts of spooky, cool stuff. And as the business grew, I was actually like, we want a digital avatar. I'll start being a little streamer. I'll start figuring that stuff out. And Cryptid will be the avatar for that. And then it's just kind of taken on a life of its own over here. But, you know, whenever you have stuff with a business, with something that, especially a family business, you never particularly want it to go wrong. Streamers can be business, ooh woo. Top 10! Oh, my raccoons hype me up too much. You guys gas me up too much. Oh my goodness. But thank you. You guys are very sweet. And also, hello, Black Iris. I think there was another thing earlier. What was... Did someone say they just joined the queue? Documencer, you're in the queue now? That's so exciting. Everyone, huge cheers for Documencer too, for overcoming all that fear and anxiety and being brave and submitting to the story queue. We can't wait to see that in the future. 10 factorial is a very big number. That's not saying a whole lot. 10 factorial? Did we get good crits in? What's happening? Oh my goodness, what's happening? If you're asking about like if I'm blushing in real life over here, absolutely. That's oh my goodness. So let's see. We're reading the propaganda the scavengers is throwing against Archie. About the raccoon capitalism. They tricked us into just giving them our trash. A drawing of a raccoon with a superhero cape appears. But fear not, young lads. Someone is fighting back. The scavenger Arya and her army of raccoon heroes are fighting back against Archie's tyranny. Oh my goodness, this is pretty good propaganda. It's pretty good propaganda. It's been a while since I did that math. Oh god, please, no more math. Tax season's over. I don't want to do math anymore. I just do math for tax season. The two raccoon drawings begin fighting, with the superhero raccoon being knocked out. But we're not strong enough to save the world just yet. We need your help, young raccoon cubs. Join us in our fight to save the world from Archie's evil. Oh my goodness. The screen fades to black, the captions disappearing one word at a time. Soon, only the word evil remained. And then it fades completely. Oh my goodness! This is some great propaganda right over here. So how are there any younger raccoons here in chat? Do you guys feel your brain turning against Archie? Are you guys being persuaded by the scavenger? I can't believe this is being aired on the news channel. It's Archie's Raccoon Channel 6 news station. There must be somebody already in the news station that's against Archie and for the scavenger in order to have this being aired. My brain's leaked out of my eye hole. That's the zombie. It's okay. That's normal for a zombie. That's normal for a zombie. You just kind of like take your hand and like squish it back in there. Just squish it back in there. It's fine. You can put some duct tape on it to keep it from leaking out. Privatize the trash? May the words has math? No. And I had bad math and oh, okay, you just put your word count in. That's good. That's good. You had planned on getting an eye patch eventually? Oh my god, that's gonna be so fantastic. Then you'll be like a pirate zombie. That's great. Top tier character design. I love it. Huge support. So I love it. So that was from, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make sure. Let me double check. Nope. Yeah, okay, you guys can kind of see it. That's from Arya Rose for Arya the Scavenger. That was the propaganda message. I want to make sure you guys can kind of see everyone who's contributing to Raccoon Channel 6 News. And yes, you guys can actually go in and write your own news updates. You guys can write about the weather. You guys can write about your raccoon personas or new raccoon OCs. You guys can write about possums and cryptids. Is that the new Apple Watch? Is it like a band-aid? Oh, is what it? I don't know. What was I saying? But yeah, so if you guys are ever interested in adding your own news stories, oh, the eye patch. Oh, that's a lame joke. Oh man, I shouldn't have even laughed at that. I shouldn't have even given you that. Oh. You don't plan on explaining the Civil War much without working with Archie, but I think stuff like propaganda or side stories are fine. Yeah, and for stuff too, if you're ever worried about it, you want to make sure everything looks double checked, there is a section right here called the Raccoon Assignment Desk where you guys can ask, like, hey, is there a story you want me to cover? And you guys can get like one, like, yeah, we need someone to write this one. We need to have something about this. Or you can suggest your own ones. I even posted mine early and I was like, hey, this is what I think would be a cool little side story. But because I never look at Raccoon Channel 6 News except on stream, let me know if it works, that it doesn't go against anyone else's stuff. And then they gave me approval and they put it on over. So you can go, you can ask for jobs, you can submit stories, you can write your own things, and that's the Raccoon Assignment Desk. And then if it's all good, or it's all on the up and up, then yeah, your story, your writing can be on Raccoon Channel 6 News, and I'll read it right here in the news segment. How is the cotton candy factory taste tester position? Have they filled it yet? That's something to ask. That's something to ask in Raccoon Channel 6 News and the assignment desk. And actually went over to Raccoon News earlier, lol. Yep. So that's all good. Thank you so much for doing that. So yeah, now that's actually what we're here at. You guys will read my little section I submitted here. I quickly wrote it up. It was just a little bit before stream. So if it's not perfect, well then I never claimed to be a perfect writer. Let's just say that. So this is a side story. Cryptid is browsing the aisles at the abandoned 8-Eleven, shopping basket in hand, while raccoons trail behind her, picking up snacks and treats. Okay. This brand is on sale today, so if you guys want any here, be sure to grab some. Oh, the prices for soda increased again, I think. Hey, no fighting! We'll pick up a few bottles and hope the prices go down next week. A possum drops a bag of Cheetos into the shopping basket last minute while Cryptid makes her way to the cash register. The cash register is staffed by another skeleton. Not Skelly the skeleton, but a relative. Cryptid thinks this one is a cousin of Skelly, but isn't sure, and always forgets to ask to make sure. Oopsie, yeah, see it even there. That could have been reworded a bit. This skeleton is heavily cracked and damaged. Working retail will do that to you. But also has a little name tag pinned to an apron that reads Manager. Hey, hun, back again. Just picking up supplies for the raccoons. How's it been? Cryptid makes idle small talk to the manager skeleton while scanning her items. Baby raccoon, here we go, is sitting on the counter, swinging his little legs while he waits. The cracked television screen in the upper corner starts playing the newest Raccoon Channel 6 news, and Baby Raccoon perks up and pays attention to that instead of Cryptid. Alrighty, hun, I think I counted that all out right, but just double check me. Bags? Yeah, I'll need some paper bags. Okay, guys, help Cryptid pack up all your snacks. No fighting. But, what? What's wrong, Baby Raccoon? Cryptid turns to look down at the little raccoon who had begun tugging on her clothes and jewelry chains. However, Baby Raccoon is frantically pointing up at the TV screen with his other paw. Cryptid looks around and realizes that the other critters have frozen in place too. Looking up at the screen instead of helping her with the groceries, Cryptid looks up in time to see the new news announcement. Raccoons! An unfamiliar face yelled through the microphone. There is a plague amongst us. One raccoon has surpassed us in wealth, in fame, in power. Wait, what? Cryptid asked out loud to no one in particular. And no other critter really seems to answer her either, transfixed on the screen. They watch a new critter call out Archie and her deeds to the raccoon community. The segment ends as Scavenger gets close to the camera. Archie, our betrayer. I, Arya the Scavenger, declare war. The abandoned 811 is silent as the news segment ends. There is a beat where nothing happens. No one moves. Wait, what? Cryptid shrieks out as the news station switches over to the sports announcement section. So let's see what happened. I saw a few things happening over in the chat. Let's see. Archie isn't increasing the prices, it's the people in business in business. Cryptid, you got a date? That's super nice. This makes me sound like the obits and classifieds reporter. It came from a friend of mine too. And she slyly went, only if you take me to dinner. Oh, that's super nice. Yeah, the sports one. So for any new raccoons joining in, yeah, before there had been the Scavenger announcement, and then Doc Mars posted Sports Watch Live, and then there was the Coyote Guard announcement. So this was me writing a little story about Cryptid, first hearing the news. So now we're continue live from the abandoned news station, Raccoon Channel 6 News, number 8. Side story number 3 starts. A side story once again? What is going on? That's what it says. Archie is in her office watching what has been broadcast. Her face is just neutral. Oh, we're getting Archie's reaction too. We got Cryptid's reaction, now we're getting Archie's reaction. Oh no. War. Why does it always lead to war? Archie sighs as they think. They look over her desk. A chart of some kind. The contents of the chart read, the trash shortage. Archie's brow furrows, and she wonders what she did wrong. She just wanted to start a new course for Raccoon College with a new subject. And what's with that raccoon saying she's there to suck money out of Raccoon College? For Cryptid's sake, she funds almost all the colleges and schools in the area. Oh my god, Archie's like rich now. Archie looked at the blank screen again and wondered what to do, and whether to ask for help from some colleagues. I just want everyone to get along. I don't want to be the bad guy. Archie looks down at her paw and looks over to the side of the table. Her journal is there, looking ominously. I never thought I would need you again, but hopefully I won't need to. Archie says as they hop down her desk to be ready to start the news, as she contacts the possum force and coyote guards to ask what to do. I gotta know who's the one that's broadcasting that propaganda here, they muttered under their breath as they left the room. Oh no, side story number 3 ends. That's the newest thing. That's the newest thing. So now Archie's even looking into who's doing the broadcast, who is the scavenger person who's fighting up against them. Oh my goodness. My internet buffers, my hubs have started to download again. Oh no. A trash shortage? Well, if trash comes from humans, and the Cryptid Roots universe takes place in a post-apocalyptic universe where there's not a lot of humans anymore, I'm just saying, that means there's not a lot of people making any more new trash. Just something to think about. Let's see. Don't tell him I said this, but he's a sweetheart. Aww. She's 5'2". Oh, you're barely taller than her. You guys are both tall compared to me. Shut up. I really hope this Civil War storyline will help grow the cryptid community and inspire more raccoons to contribute to Raccoon 6 News. I hope so too. And hey, even if it does, first of all, if it does nothing, I'm a huge fan of it. I'm like, wow, I'm so amazed and blown away by everyone who contributes in their creativity. And me for being involved in fandom spaces, right? It's kind of weird to say that I have a fandom space now, but that's kind of what I view people who do the fan works in the Raccoon 6 News, right? It's a fan thing to be part of this world and this community. So me, having always grown up in fandom spaces, I always was thrilled and had fun and had so much fun engaging in it. And that wasn't necessarily to get other people into your fandom. It was always just having fun with it. So even if you're over here and you're like, hey, this doesn't bring anyone new in, this isn't like quote unquote grow, this isn't for the algorithm, this is for funsies, this is for you and me and everyone here and all the raccoons to hang out and have fun with something. And I'm thoroughly having fun. I think it's an amazing thing. I'm really lucky and I'm really grateful actually that instead of going for the business route first, it kind of happened to be a writers community first, that I grew here on Twitch. Because when you get a lot of writers and creative people together, you get a lot of people who have fun making stories and have fun playing pretend with you. And that's what the Cryptid Roots universe is, right? It's me being a blue person on your screen and asking you guys to play pretend and have fun with me. And I think everyone here kind of got the assignment. It's been really fun. You'll make new trash columns? Oh, that'll be fun. You're 4'7" and you're in your 30s? Hey, I'm in my 30s now too. I'm a hair under 5 feet. I'm a hair under 5 feet. I'm almost 5 feet. 5 foot anything is tall, yep. Raccoon News just became the fanfic zone that might be canon to the Cryptid universe. Oh. Your dad's at 1 inch off the 6 foot mark. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're too tall. Take off those kneecaps. You don't need to be that tall. 5'7" and surrounded by tall people. You're already tall. What do you mean? 5'7", you're a giant. 6 feet, you're a giant. You guys are all giants. Get them kneecaps. It's true. I consider the Raccoon Channel 6 news, it's canon adjacent. It's one of those things where like, if there's something that happens, then I'm like, no, actually it's gonna be this for the official quote unquote lore. But otherwise, unless otherwise stated, the Raccoon Channel 6 news stuff is canon, unless otherwise stated. It's canon adjacent. Yep, I see giants around here all the time. Oh, let's see, what's that baby raccoon?
Cryptid. When I saw that broadcast when we were at the store, I was so scared about war might mean for us.
Oh,
but then I researched more into it. Our economy is backed by the military, therefore war is actually quite good for us. The Coyote Guard shareholders are already profiting heavily.
Oh,
maybe this war should keep going.
Oh god, baby raccoon. That's some big thoughts over there, baby raccoon. That's a lot of big thoughts for your baby raccoon head. Where were you looking all this up? What were you reading? And to be fair, like listen, even if there's profit and stuff, is profit worth raccoon life, human life, raccoon life? Your son is taller and your partner's taller? Oh my god, you're the shorty at 5'7"? That's insane. He did go to Raccoon College? Oh, that's true. Wait, did Baby Raccoon go to Raccoon College yet? He's still a baby. Archie did. You reckon you have one of those duck under a desk with a hard hat? What's your wild idea, Tashi? You're 5 foot. Oh, you're almost 6 foot. Yeah, all you tall people. Yeah, you guys need to stop being so tall. Yeah, me mom and daughter are shorties. Oh, okay. If only you could be so tall. 5 foot, 1.75. You're still taller than me. You're fine. Everyone stop making me feel short. You're a solid 5'3". That's why you're part of the Coyote Guard. Because you're taller than me. You can look more cool and badass and intimidating. You guys ever see someone who's just under 5 feet try to be scary and intimidating? How often do you think that fucking works for me? You walked by a taller woman today? You were outside? You were outside and you saw a woman? What? Go for the kneecaps. I'm just saying, like, listen, a woman? A tall woman? A tall woman? That's pretty nice, though. I'm just saying. That I bite the way I bark. My 6'5" ex-husband was frightened of me. Yes. Love to see it, love to see it. No one is intimidated by me until I start yelling and my eyes turn black. Yeah, the chihuahuas. There's a long-distance relationship with the ground. That's why I always say I can't date anyone too tall. Like, so many people are like, oh yeah, like, I want a boyfriend and they have to be like 6 foot something. And I'm like, no, if I date anyone who's over 6 feet, that's a long-distance relationship. I'll never see them. I'll never know what they look like. I'll be like standing right next to them. I'm like, hey, I don't know what you look like. Can you take a selfie? I want to know what my partner looks like. It's too far away. They'll like try to lean down and give me a hug. I'll give them back problems. I can't date anyone too tall. That's just torture for them. I'd feel bad. I slouch so I don't seem that tall until I stand straight up. When you stand straight up, does your spine start crackling as you unstrip your spine? Everyone picks you up. Oh my goodness. Hi, Triangle. Local Cryptid stays up late enough for me to catch. Oh my goodness. Hi, Triangle. It's good to see you. For me personally, height is something I really don't care about in a relationship. Yeah, I generally don't care, again, as long as they're not like crazy, crazy tall. Because again, it's like, how do I. One, I already have bad hearing. How can I hear you all the way up there? I'll never hear you. You might be saying something to me and I'll be like, what? What? And they'll be saying something like stupid and sarcastic, like, how's the weather down there, shorty? How's the weather down there? And I'll be like, what? What did you say? It just has to be reasonable. I don't care if you're shorter or taller than me, but like, geez, just be reasonable. I can't have you like up in the clouds over there. Come on, I need to see you. In my sci-fi, there is romance between a woman that's 5'10" and a man that's 9'8". He's all the way up there. I already look like such a goddamn chihuahua next to people who aren't even 6 foot. Now you're telling me that there's someone who's 9 foot, 9 foot something. In your sci-fi star, oh my god, I'd look like a tiny ant. I'd look like a little tiny baby. They could squish me with their foot. They could step on me. Not even in a kinky way, just by accident. They'd be like, psh, and I'd be like, huh? Did it? What's this? What's this blue thing on the bottom of my foot? And I'll be like, it's my limbs. You crushed me. I lost my limbs. Put me out of my misery. Oh no. I'm like, huh, weird, gross. Maybe it's like a thing of bubblegum or something. They just like smear my organs on the floor. I keep walking. Means access to top shelf and early weather reports. I just is this bad if I admit we actually do have like a little step ladder, little step stool thingamajig in the house that we use sometimes. At our wedding, I had to step up on something in heels and still had to go on tippy toes for the "you may kiss the bride." Oh my god, that's so cute though. Stop. I refuse to look up at you, Cryptid. It gives me neck problems. Come on. Only one person has actually squatted all the way down to properly give me a hug. That's just insulting at that point. You told someone I was under 5 feet. She went, how are white people so short? This is a nice, calm place. This is a calm place where we're all nice and supportive of each other. I'm not gonna be starting fights. I'm not gonna be taking names and smacking bitches on hoes. I'm not gonna be putting bitches and hoes in their place. I'm not gonna be starting fights. This isn't the place. This isn't the time. I feel bad not knowing the emotions down on a face. How do I see tone of what is said and understanding and connecting? Oh no! I refuse to look up at you and I can't hear you. That's when I just had to take out their kneecaps. It's 45 feet tall. No. Let's see. Oh my, I'm so behind in chat now. Wait, let me catch up. Let me catch up. I dated a guy that was 6'3" and he was kind of a prick though. Yeah, height isn't always a personality trait. I'm just saying you shouldn't date just for height. That is true. But a lot of them are, or at least around there. We're raccoons. We can be derailed by anything. Oh, shiny! Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe of the stream. Somebody needs to get Cryptid some ODM gear. ODM gear. Remember, girls, strike the nape of the neck. Well, one, I'm sure I can't always reach people's necks. I've always just gone with the belief you should either go for if someone's ever attacking you and straight like you are in fight or flight mode, you might die. That's just part of the when someone's attacking you to the death, you might die. One of you's gonna die. Hopefully it's not you, but it might be you. So you should just do as much damage as possible to make it easier to identify your killer. That way, like your remaining family has some like something to comfort them at the end that they identified your killer. So I've always said if someone's like strangling you or choking you out, you might not have the physical strength to overpower them or the training, or even if you do, you might blink out at the moment. So if worst case scenario, you should always just gouge out their eyeballs. Doesn't matter how tough they are, their eyeballs are weak as shit. They're squishy. No matter how tough they are, they still have squishy eyeballs. And if they do flee and you end up surviving the encounter, if you squished out their eyeballs, sometimes you can sell that shit on the black market. Squished eyeball parts, those are hard to come by. So it's kind of a win-win scenario. Either you've made your killer make watching you die be the last thing they ever see if they survive and you don't. Or if you do survive, you've now permanently damaged your potential killer, your would-be killer, and you got eyeball goo. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Are they talking about the gear on Attack on Titan? Oh. I would aim for the knees, they'll fall like an oak. Girly Pop, I was making a reference to Attack on Titan. Oh. Okay. Terry Pratchett said something about teeth being level with our tender parts of the anatomy. Yeah, biting people is absolutely a tactic. You know a zombie that would buy an eyeball? See? See? Eyeballs are pretty good pieces to have. Oh my god. Document search Autobot tried to block your spermacogeny. That's so funny. Oh. Sorry, yeah, did I get you? So, for any new raccoons here, I've talked a few times about how, like, in the cryptid household, growing up, one of the things is whenever you have, like, old, rusted, or dull knives, like, just, like, useless knives, and you just get new ones, and you don't really take care of the old ones. So you have, like, old, rusted, broken knives, anything like that. You actually keep them, and we put them all around the house in different hiding places, so there should be multiple in every single room. That way, in case anyone ever tries breaking into your house, if there's like an intruder, it doesn't matter where you're at during the time of the intrusion, you have these dull rusted knives that you can then attack them back with. And the dull rusted knives obviously are less effectual at cutting things neatly, which means they do more damage. And then if they do survive the encounter, they're more likely to have to go to the hospital afterwards because you attacked them with a rusted knife. You didn't even say men. It highlighted the little girl section, and it was like misogyny. That's what it flagged. All caps and more than 2 emojis are being blocked. Oh, is it still from the Nightbot thing? Did we not fix the settings? Or is this over in your stream? Is it in this stream or is it in your stream that's having that? Roll for damage, yeah, exactly. Just buy a triangular bayonet at this point? But then what else would I use all my rusted knives for? Oh, on your stream. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how it got fixed. I just told Roots to fix it, and after a few days they did, so I got nothing to offer you. I'm so sorry, Heidenheart. But that was an issue for a little bit, I feel ya. But, like, listen. And it's really nice, because if there's only one bayonet, take care of your knives and then they won't rust. But then I won't have rusted knives. You keep offering these things that sound like you're offering a solution, but it just gives me more problems. If we don't have any rusted knives, I won't have any rusted knives. I need the rusted knives to attack any potential intruders. My birthday is tomorrow, and somebody tried to say happy birthday, and it wore too. I felt so bad. Oh no. Oh no. Well, one, happy early birthday. That's so exciting. And two, I'm so sorry. That's so sad. Oh, let's see. I'm pretty sure those are a war crime because it's impossible to sew the wound shut. Well, if somebody's trying to kill me because they're breaking into my home and trying to kill me, I don't really care about war crimes. They can't report a war crime once they're dead. You can sue me all you want when you're dead. Oh my goodness. No, no, no. I'm just saying, if you're breaking in and you're trying to kill a Florida woman, a Florida cryptid, there's no Floridian who's thinking, is this too harsh of a punishment for a home intruder? There is no Floridian thinking that. Oh, yeah, I'm a Central Florida cryptid. The official lore is cryptid came out from the swamps a few months ago to a post-apocalyptic world in Florida. So just to give you guys perspective, cryptid's a Florida woman. I was born in Massachusetts, making me, one, a masshole. And then I grew up and have lived since in Florida, making me a crazy Florida woman. So I get the worst of both of those traits. Oh. Can confirm I was born in Florida. Long gone now, but it always comes back to me. Florida, home of some truly unhinged people. And grave of many more. It's true, it's true. Person, happy birthday! Automat, misogyny, terrorism, war crime. Oh, poor Hide and Heart. But yeah, happy birthday to Hide and Heart. I hope you and the littles in the family do some fun stuff on your birthday. That's so exciting. Me writing notes. Cryptid is crazy good at mass. At mass murder? I actually don't think. I'm very realistic about the amount of damage I could do to people. And how much I would do with murder and what I would get away with murder. I'm very practical about that. Oh, mass. Oh. But I do not think I would actually be a very good mass murderer. That just has a lot of energy and stamina, and I don't think I could keep up with that. I think I would be knocked down before that. I think I could get a lot of damage into several people after the killing spree, but I don't think I could keep up with a whole continued line killing spree. I do think if I ever had the inclination to, I could be, if you guys are ever curious, so a mass murder, there's a lot of murders all at once at one time, and then the serial killer keeps like killing somebody and then leaving, and then killing somebody else and then leaving. Mass murder and serial killers are actually different things. So I think if I wanted to, I could be a serial killer, but I don't think I could be a mass murderer. That's just a level of stamina and endurance that, quite frankly, I don't have and I don't want to have. That's too much exercise. Me terrified of lizards. Oh, also me won't even bat an eye around alligators or crocodiles. Yeah, see, you get it. The lizards here, they jump. Sometimes you're walking under the tree and the lizard will jump in your hair. And you gotta like take the lizard out of your hair, and you're like, no, that's scary. What's the worst the alligators and crocodiles can do? Kill you? That's fine. The issue with being a killer like that, you had to keep up with the numbers. Math is too tough. Yeah, at that point, then you just hope you become famous enough to have a Wikipedia page about you, and then the Wikipedia article will like keep track of the numbers for you. That way you don't have to keep up with it. An actual interaction I had with a friend one time. Me. Need help with that? I'm good at planning stuff. Her. What about mass murder? Me. That's not my area of expertise. I remember that in Florida. I was walking out of a buffet in Orlando and a lizard fell on my head. Yeah, see? They get you. Well, I know I couldn't be a mass murderer. I won't be able to keep up with my ADHD. Oh no. Oh no. It's true. It's a fault most people in this chat, including me, have. You add your expertise for corpse removal. Oh my goodness, right? Oh my goodness, so funny. So yeah, I try to be. Some people talk a lot of shit, and like you can kind of look at them and you're like, you're just talking shit. Like they say a lot of big, scary, tough things, and I'm like, no, that's not true for you. And then other people say big, like tough, scary things. You're like, yeah, I believe it for you. I believe it for you. It's just a vibe thing. So for me, I try. I don't. You never want to be the person who like overestimates how tough you are. So I try to be very realistic and practical and how tough I am. Lizards were everywhere. Yeah, the lizards are everywhere. Why are lizards incompetent at climbing? This makes me think they should learn from the chat borrowers. So the lizards are just the lizards realized they could jump. And they realized when something's going at them, they could jump, and there's a chance they might jump away from whatever's trying to get them. The lizards did not learn about things like planning their jumps. We have tree frogs and they climb these sheer surfaces with no problems. Frogs. Yeah, so the lizards just realize, like, something's not going my way. Jump. And where they land is a problem for future them. And if that landing spot happens to be people's heads and in their hair and on their hats, well, that's future them's problem. And they'll deal with it once it's dealt with. Your executive dysfunction manager, the cat, has appeared to demand tribute. You only have one cat, you fucking lucky bastard. There's too many cats over here. Have you seen a lizard? A lizard's face? Not a thought between those eyes. One time... Should I say the story? You has 2 cats! That's a nice, reasonable amount of cats. The number only goes up. It gets more crazy. You have 1 cat? Nice. You do have skinks and they are cool, but they do not climb. Interesting. Will it be 500 points? For what? For the text to speech? Oh, you can't get any more cats? You're sad? Listen, you just gotta wait for the future. You're not allowed in pet stores anymore. Oh my goodness. But that's when you just gotta plan for the faraway future. I always say, well, what I did say before is I always wanted to get an abandoned Victorian mansion, because if it's an abandoned one, it's in disrepair and it's cheaper. And I knew myself, I was practical enough. I'm like, I can't afford like a nice new shiny Victorian mansion. I need like a little rundown and disrepaired one, a little haunted one. Then the price goes down. I always wanted to live in an abandoned Victorian mansion, and that has so many rooms, it has so much space that I'm like, yeah, if I was in a Victorian mansion, okay, maybe I could get another cat. Maybe I could rescue another stray. You go straight to the cats and dogs, yeah. But now the thing from last stream is we were actually talking about, like, yeah, if I ever got the money and wealth, if the universe ever worked out in my favor, that Cryptid was wealthy enough that I could buy like one of those abandoned castles and start fixing it up, then one, yes, there would definitely be more cats, because a castle space, enough space in a castle, yeah, that's enough space for a few more cats, right? And a dog. I'll get a dog at that point too. I get a dog again. I liked having a dog. Um, you built your fur babies a catio. I want that so bad. Castle the Cryptid, yes. Um, Still bring cats and dogs, yeah. And then there was the talk of like, yeah, if I ever had a cool castle, I would invite you guys over and we could have writing retreats in the castle, and I would like light a cool fire, because castles have fireplaces, right? It's all cool. And I'd like light a fire in a fireplace late at night. And then we would do this, right? We would do like story critiques and go around. There would be writing retreats, and I'd host some of my different raccoon guests over at the castle. We want a catio! You went drinking to an abandoned house, and holy shit, if I had the money, I would fix that place. It's like those old school LA mansions. It's so 60s looking. Little mansion on the hills. Oh my god, that sounds so cool, Raymond. You need building materials, power tools, knowledge of how to operate power tools. That one's important. You can get a lot of very serious boo-boos if you don't know how to operate those power tools. Yeah, I actually was really during 2020, 2021, I started picking up reupholstery. I was learning the reupholstery trades, how to remove fabric, take furniture apart to pieces, especially like antique ones, and reupholster it and stuff, and doing all that. That was really fun. I really liked that. We can go to the library and do the classy, yeah, see? But you also need to delete the klutz personality trait. Oh yeah, you can't be super klutzy with some of those power tools. Some of them now, like as long as you focus, you're not doing anything too crazy, like you're okay. Maybe if you're klutzy, maybe don't be doing power tools on the ladders and stuff. But even if you're klutzy, if you're not doing anything too crazy, you're not running around over all those wires, you can be relatively okay. I got my head shot by a nail gun by a person who doesn't know how to use it. Oh, that's so scary. PP and keeping your fingers away from moving parts. It's true. Don't go on the toppest part of the ladder. Almost. Yeah, you almost got your head shot by a nail gun. That's so terrifying. That's like nightmare fuel. That's nightmare fuel. That's horrifying. Missed by an eye. That's so scary. Like genuinely, I make the references a lot of like, oh, like that wouldn't make me shake in my little cryptid boots or whatever, right? That genuinely is making me like kind of shake in my cryptid boots a little bit. And I'm like, oh no. If it moves, it munches. Wisdom from me mom. Right. Thankfully, I've worked with enough like industrial machinery, with even like learning as a little baby cryptid how to operate like a sewing machine, right? You kind of learn at least some basic things. Of like, yeah, don't put your hands near sharp moving things. I've used a really tall ladder and a walk-in freezer. Almost got myself knocked out because my tininess can't reach anything. You were alone except for one other person. Oh, thank God that other person was there. First of all, that's so scary. Cryptid boost confirmed. You're banned. You're banned. Get out of here. You're banned. Oh. Accidentally shoots Holly in the back of the head with a nail gun. Welp. Cryptid goops confirmed. No, what is this? That sounds gross. You stapled your fingers together as a kid? That's horrifying. Cryptid meeps. Cryptid meeps. You wobbled on that tippy top of that ladder? No, that's too scary. Also, when I left, found out my boyfriend was waiting for me because he was worried I was working late. Thank goodness that other people would have been there to be like, hey, wait, why isn't this person walking out of here alive? What's happening here? So at least there's that. But oh my goodness, yeah, fooling around on ladders and heights is no joke. That's so scary. I think I must have hammered my finger on accident. As far as power tools, I really can't think of much of anything. Oh god, that's scary, Ari, that's scary. You got a safety net even if I had got knocked out. Still scary as fuck though, absolutely. Oh no, you super glued your fingies together, no. Oh, nail polish remover worked for that? That's nice. That's good to know. You nearly jumped in the Pacific? Oh no, Jenny Maddie, no. I've got show wrap-up stuff to help Julie with. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Izzy. It was so great having you here. We'll see you again in the future. Bye. That's how we wobble off the ladder. I almost got my head bashed by a bus, a truck, and a jeep a couple. What are you doing, Zoe? That's so funny. Oh my goodness. But no, But everyone said that, and I'm yawning a bit. We did 2 story critiques today, and we did Raccoon Channel 6 news. And I did what I wanted to do, which was I actually contributed a little bit to the Raccoon Channel 6 news. So, are you trying to fight vehicles with your brain? Because you looked out the window. Wait, what? Wait, what? Just looking out the window and you almost bashed your head into these cars? Oh my god, that sounds like a horrible dream creative one. No. But anyway, yes, it is late. It's past 1 in the morning here. I got 2 story critiques done. We got Raccoon Channel 6 news. I think, car coming the other way? Were you sticking your head out really far? Must have been a big car, or like a car coming close, like almost crashing into the car you were in. Um, Looked out a car window, forgot to add that. But yeah, were the other cars that close that you almost bashed your head into them? That's crazy. Oh my god, you can actually kind of keep track with the my yawning with the model because she closes her eyes, but she still is like opening her mouth and yawning. That kind of works. Oh, you got hit by the mirror thing. That's
Hey
insane.
mom, now that I have an
Oh my
after
god.
school job, I think I want to buy a.
Sorry, that was the lo-fi beats ending, so I guess that's did that jump scare anybody else? That actually jump scared me. And I have a nappy cotton candy. Another doesn't pass inspection. Oh no, did you wash it again? That's so sad. Ban free ads. Yeah, I know, that's why I stopped it real quick. But otherwise, I'm gonna end stream here tonight, you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a bit. I love hanging out with you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do when I get to stream here and hang out with you guys. Uh, there's an ASMR person who makes you yawn. Yeah, I'm yawning over here. I'm making myself yawn. Good night, everybody. I hope you guys are all comfy and warm and cozy wherever you guys are. It's been a pleasure. And again, I'm resuming the streaming schedule, so it's every other night. So I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.